Piazza has you covered with financing as low as 1.99% for 60 months. Find the unforgettable driving experience you've been waiting for. Piazza Acura of Ardmore, Reading, or Westchester. See your local Piazza Acura dealer for the offer details and tell them Dawn sent you.
Let your savings potential bloom with American Heritage Credit Union. Our certificates and IRA savings products come in a variety of terms, like a 36-month certificate at 3.81% APY or 12-month IRA certificate at 3.91% APY. For more flexibility, consider our high-yield savings account with an APY of 3.10%. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/savings to learn more. Insured by the NCUA. Additional share insurance provided by ESI. Not a member? Join today.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. I've been talking about myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday.
Have you called 800-FREE-SEAT yet? Time is running out to secure free seating from Natural Lawn with their full-service program. Natural Lawn delivers great results and is safer for your family and pets. Natural Lawn has been growing green lawns quickly, more naturally, and with fewer weeds for over 35 years. Right now, take advantage of their limited time offer. Free seating every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED right now. Time is running out. Call 800-FREE-SEED. Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Connie Urkel, and I'm here with my husband, Guy. We're excited to be here and tell you our great success with Crash Proof.
It feels great knowing that I hear other people talking about, oh, the market's going down, I lost this much money, and they're all fretting over it. And we don't have that fret at all. We are very comfortable knowing that the interest that we've made, we're not going to lose it. It's just going to compound and create more money as we move forward.
This year, one of our vehicles brought in over 18%, and they weren't charging us fees to do this. Even when the market crashes or goes down, we're not anxious about what is going on around us politically and globally.
I encourage you to get involved, give them a call, and set up a meeting. Not that I want to wish my life away, but I'm looking forward to next March to see how much more money we made.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn on Tuesday, May 5th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Live and local from Philadelphia. The Dawn Stensland Show on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Yeah, it's another Dano Takeover. Dan Borowski, producer Dan, in for the Dawn Stensland Show with my good friend Linda Kearns. Linda, how you doing today?
It must be Linda if you're playing Elvis music, right? Isn't that the signal?
I do it reluctantly. Can't even see the word right today. I heard you make the reference of Elvis dying on the toilet to Greg. I'm happy you willingly, openly admit that now. So.
Dan, do you want to get on my bad side? I mean, we just started. No, I offered Greg. I said, watch the new epic Elvis movie. It's out on streaming, and if he can truly come in here, I challenge him to truly come in here after that and give an honest review, and I think that he'll have a whole new appreciation for Elvis. And then he asked me if I would donate to Families Behind the Badge, which of course I will, except I said, Greg, an honest review doesn't mean that you come in and say he was a great entertainer but died on the toilet. So that's the context. See, context is important.
Yeah,
you got it?
Yeah, well, it was a good film that Baz Luhrmann, Elvis.
It was
IMAX.
It was amazing because it was all Elvis's voice. He basically just found Elvis interviews from throughout the year, so Elvis narrated his own story.
You know, I think Greg lost his bite at the end there and agreed to this because he felt bad that you were sitting in the other room like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I have stuff to say, and they're making me sit here, wait to go on.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
I don't know.
Whoa, you see me just sink there?
Oh, yeah, do you have to dump that?
No, I didn't have to dump anything. I just slid down in my chair and you didn't hold me up. All right, so today we're going to get into a lot. We have some SPLC updates. Cory Booker responding to the opening of the investigation. What
SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Center, anyone doesn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Happy Earth Day.
You know what? Yeah, Happy Earth Day. Ira Einhorn, local guy.
So proud of Ira Einhorn.
Yeah, are you?
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's all about the earth, and then he kills his girlfriend, puts her in a suitcase in the closet, and she's, found when the neighbors start to smell things. So yeah, that's
disgusting.
That's basically the father of the.
Now,
the
as
Earth Day
a
movement.
divorce attorney, which you moonlight as, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think I've more moonlight is coming here. I think that
at this point, yeah,
the attorney thing is.
I think that's
making.
the full-time job. Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Well, number one, I don't think he was married to her, but I do always tell people, like, some of these fights can really escalate very, very quickly, and if it's starting to escalate, just remove yourself from the situation. So that was just terrible.
What year was that? It was 2001.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was I think the first
77.
1977,
and then he arrested and released on bail. Einhorn fled the country and spent 18 years in Europe before being extradited back to the United States in 2001.
And ultimately died in prison here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you do anything with that? I guess that was far before your time.
No, not that much before. No, I wasn't involved, but I just, what a hypocrite. Mr. Earth Day, be good to the earth, and then he's killing his girlfriend. Now, come on.
We'll get into Ellen Greenberg updates, talking about killing girlfriends. And
yeah, Dawn Stensland, who, we wish well, and she'll be back soon. She's really follows this case, and I wanted to mention it because I know how important this case is to her. Ellen Greenberg died in 2011, and there was a lot of controversy that it was first ruled, I believe, a suicide, then a homicide, then back to suicide. And her family has fought that all the way. And now the news is reporting that the Justice Department's going to look into it. And Governor Shapiro is tied to this case.
Ooh.
I'm sure he wishes it would go away because as Attorney General, he also said that his office also then investigated and said that it was ruled a suicide. And, I did pull the autopsy report. You can get it online, and I read it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And, you look at it, and there's things that just really make you wonder. First of all, her boyfriend found her, but the apartment was locked from the inside, on the latch on the inside. So they had to break down the door to get in. And the only other way out of the apartment was there was like a sliding door to a balcony, but it had just snowed, and all the snow was fresh. There was no footprints. So that kind of makes you wonder if someone else was in there, how did they get out? How did the door get relatched? And she had so many stab wounds. That's the problem. Like, if you're going to commit suicide, how do you stab yourself? I think some of the reports say 17 times. And you know,
if after like the 10th one.
Yeah, and if you go through the reports, some of the stab wounds were what they call like superficial, like one was 0.2 centimeters, which that's not that much. But then, one was 0.6 centimeters, 0.5 centimeters.
Like it does. It's if you're reading those lengths, it would think, what is she stabbing herself and hesitating?
I think that's what they.
Or is she trying to escape and he's grazing
right,
her,
and that's what the doctors tried to conclude. But then some of these stab wounds got very bigger, like 0.8 centimeters. And when you think about that, that's to do it once to yourself, that's one thing, but to repeatedly stab yourself like that, it really just raises a lot of questions.
I want to hear from her parents. Do you mind? This is from ABC 27.
Absolutely, yeah.
Susquehanna High School graduate. Her family lived in Dauphin County for years before moving to Florida. Now, her death was originally ruled a homicide. That was in January of 2011, but then ultimately switched to a suicide. That is despite bruises and 20 stab wounds she had, including several on her back.
Hope to get to the truth.
Something Sandy and Josh Greenberg say they've been fighting for 15 years.
We don't believe she committed suicide.
It was January 2011 when 27-year-old Ellen Greenberg was found dead in her Philadelphia apartment, discovered by her fiancé, Sam Goldberg, who has never been accused in her death. Ellen had bruises and 20 stab wounds, including on her back. A knife was sticking out of her chest.
My fiancé's on the floor with blood everywhere.
At some point, the truth will prevail.
This gave me a mission to prove that my daughter was a homicide victim. And that mission has kept me out of the corner and crying.
The Greenbergs have spent years trying to get Ellen's case re-examined. Last year, it was. The Philadelphia Medical Examiner's Office reaffirmed it a suicide.
Even the latest medical examiner's report of almost 40 pages is just chock full of junk. And she should be professionally ashamed of what she wrote.
Philly's chief medical examiner, Dr. Lindsay Simon, who reviewed Ellen's death, did not respond to my request for comment.
It's very frustrating, but we are making headway.
The Greenberg.
So I want to get into the Shapiro angle almost of this, because a lot of the allegations, you know me, I spent a lot of time, in the world of conspiracy and true crime and all.
Dan.
But a lot of the allegations are that this family of the boyfriend was tied in with Josh Shapiro, Governor Josh Shapiro, and a lot of the dodginess of the investigation is to protect Shapiro's political future. Is that not true?
Right. And yes, that is the allegation. And this is the last thing he needs right now, with a governor re-election and then wanting to be on the national stage. Like a report like this is not something that he wants just resurrected again.
Yeah.
But it is really, really curious, because you don't hear that people kill themselves by repeatedly stabbing themselves. And it's almost hard for the body to do, because once you've put a knife in yourself and then take it out and put it in again, I mean, that really hurts. Just the pain alone. Like I just can't imagine that. And then of course, the knife in her back, and it's just the whole thing is just very, very odd.
Now, do you think there's going to be anything that turns up from this federal investigation?
Who knows? I mean, the more you investigate things, you never know. You go back, you talk to the people again. I mean, obviously, the more time that goes by, the trail gets a little cold. But you never know. You just keep asking, keep asking, keep asking.
Now, here's a statement from Shapiro.
He never produced any proof.
Yeah.
I asked for an interview with Governor Shapiro last week and Monday, but was told he wasn't available. His office sent me this statement, which begins by calling Ellen's death a terrible tragedy and expressing the governor's utmost sympathy for her parents and loved ones. It goes on to say in part that then AG Shapiro thoroughly looked through all the evidence, met with the family's private investigator and counsel many times, and reviewed all additional information, but that there was no, quote, additional evidence sufficient to overturn the manner of death.
There's nothing I wanted more than to give these parents some finality, some answers, some clarity.
He didn't do a good job. He had the case and he did nothing.
Wow.
It's horrible. Now, every day they come up with new techniques. So who knows? Maybe if they, hopefully a lot of that evidence is preserved and maybe it can be retested. I did read that originally they didn't find anyone else's DNA. It was only her blood that they found at the scene. They didn't find anything else. Now that doesn't mean that nobody else was there, but
I mean, I got to stop you because you deal with domestic violence. I hate to say it's something that I'm sure you've trafficked in, not being a perpetrator,
not myself, no.
Yeah, like the legalities of it, and you have to. It's like you would think that just the first suspect you'd ask in any violent situation is a significant other,
right,
and this guy was never investigated.
Well, I think he was, but first of all, he found her, and the building supervisor or whatever you call him, concierge, was there with him, and had to break down the door with him, and so there's really, it's not like he just called from the scene and said, "Oh my gosh, I found her like this." Wow. Like they had to break down the door together. It's terrible. It's horrible.
Do you know if it was what kind of lock it was?
No,
was it like one that, you know how like some houses have the ones that you can only like turn?
No, I don't.
Or was it one that you can?
The report said it was a latch, but it was done.
It was a
latch.
It's
a security latch on the door from the inside.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like it's actually like one of those.
Yeah. So
how does he escape if he does latch
Yeah, and remember it snowed and there was no...
Because my thought was maybe it's one of those handles that you can lock and then close it and then it locks on you, you know? But if it's a latch, I mean, did he escape out a window, a back door?
Well, even if he had, it had just snowed. There was none of the snow was disturbed.
That's weird, man.
How do you get out? How do you get out that?
So he could just not be involved in this, and
I'm not sure they know who did it.
Wow. It deserves being looked into.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hate to say, but it's pretty clear to me the reason that it hasn't. You heard a great report there from ABC 27 out in Harrisburg. Media's not looking hard enough into this, and Shapiro is still giving the runaround. And I think it's because he has presidential hopes, and he doesn't want this to become a boiling point.
Keep it pat down. And I did hear I think Netflix might have a documentary on it that somebody told me was pretty interesting. So just such a terrible story. Speaking of, things in the news and keeping things out of the news.
What do you got?
Kash Patel.
Oh, man.
Okay, so the Atlantic comes out with this story saying he's a big drinker. And look, who really knows? I mean, there was that picture of him drinking with, what sports team was he? The Olympic sports team. But rather than just make a statement and then just let it kind of just go away, he then sues this whole splashy lawsuit, which is really going to just keep it in the news. Sometimes I just wonder why these people don't just say, make a statement and then let it go away. I mean, look, we're not even talking about, and I know I'm the one who keeps bringing it up, probably because it's so fascinating. No one's even mentioning Kristi Noem's husband anymore, and that was just such
oh my gosh, you're right.
dirty story, and that left no one even talks about that anymore.
Are you familiar with the Streisand effect? I'm sure you are, being a lawyer, right? Back in 2003, Barbara Streisand sued to have images of her residence in Malibu out of the media, right? And obviously, because they were reporting the story, media outlets showed those pictures, and it turned into the Streisand effect where nobody was looking at her Malibu mansion, but all of a sudden, because she made this crazy lawsuit, everybody was talking about it.
And I wonder why he did this, because remember, when you sue somebody, then the next step is what's called discovery, when there has to be an exchange of information, documents, evidence, depositions, where you ask people questions under oath. I mean, does he really want to sit there and get deposed about his drinking? Does he want to have to turn over text messages, all the pictures on his phone? Does he really want that kind of scrutiny? Or does he just want to say, you know what, I disagree with what the article said, and then just move on? But we're still talking about it because he filed this splashy lawsuit.
He actually addressed it yesterday in that press conference with Todd Blanche where they talked about the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center. But the reporter asked him about the drunkenness, and he addressed it. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I do want to give you an opportunity to respond directly to the allegations in the Atlantic article that your unexplained absences created a national security risk. And beyond that, can you say definitively that you have not been intoxicated or absent during your tenure as
Oh my gosh.
director?
I can say unequivocally that I never listen to the fake news mafia. And as when they get louder, it just means I'm doing my job. This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every director before me. What that means is I've taken half as many days off as those before me. What that means is I've taken a third less vacation than those before me. What that means is that this FBI with this Department of Justice has dropped the murder rate 20 points.
I'm going to pause right there because I got a question for you. Does he go? I mean,
does he go?
Pam Bondi, they kicked out Pam Bondi.
Not they. President Trump did.
Yeah, well.
Look,
and she was nowhere near.
I think
there were allegations. She wasn't filing lawsuits about drinking. I mean,
look, I know it does seem that President Trump does not have an appetite for these types of bad news stories, which I think was kind of Kristi Noem's downfall. You know, she testified, and that was just in the news. So he might not have an appetite for this continuing to be in the news. But an answer to, were you ever drunk is not. I don't listen to the fake news mafia. That I guess that's
it works for Trump though. Like Trump often responds to questions about his personal life or such by saying I don't listen to the fake news or don't listen to that.
You're right. It does work for Trump, but that was these were specific allegations, and that was a specific question.
Yeah.
So, he certainly didn't deny it. We'll see. We'll see.
With this Department of Justice has dropped the murder rate 20 points. What that means is this FBI with this Department of Justice has captured 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world, twice as many as the Biden administration did in its entire 4 years. What that means is this FBI has seized enough fentanyl off the streets to kill 178 million Americans, a 31% increase. What that means is this FBI and this DOJ has arrested 43% more spies in 14 months than the entirety of the Biden administration. What that means is this FBI has seen a reduction in opiate overdose deaths up to 20% alone. What that means is that we have found 6,300 child victims, 6,300 families have their kids back. That is a 22% increase from the Biden administration. I'm on the job. I'm the first one in. I'm the last one out. I'm like an everyday American who loves his country, loves the sport of hockey, and champions my friends when they raise a gold medal and invite me in to celebrate. I've never been intoxicated on the job. And that is why we filed a $250 million defamation
Why even
lawsuit.
go there, man?
And any one of you that wants to participate, bring it on. I'll see you in court.
See, I think this wouldn't have been a bad answer if he hadn't filed the lawsuit, because he was redirecting them to the successes of the FBI under his watch, and then they're going to stop asking if he doesn't answer.
Jimmy, sorry, go ahead.
But he answers them, but also files the lawsuit. So
yeah,
it's going to come up.
Yeah, it's kind of like a...
What did you say? Someone on
Now, Jimmy was writing, Patel is doing a great job, whereas Noam and Bondi were not. Why should Patel be fired? Because he's been targeted with lies, ? He denied it in his lawsuit, Linda.
Well, of course he denied it in his lawsuit. That's how you answer a lawsuit. You deny it. Yeah. But the problem with the lawsuit is not just the lawsuit is more than just the complaint. The next phase is discovery. Does he really want to turn over all his emails? Does he really want to turn over all his, say, credit card statements? Does he really want to turn over all the proof of what he's been doing, how much he spends on alcohol? Does he really want to sit for a deposition?
I mean, if he's innocent, why not?
Well, first of all, we're not talking innocence or guilt, because this is not a crime. This is just a pure, civil suit. Because it's not that easy once you lay everything bare to basically prove a negative. I mean, and does he really want all of his information all out there about what he does and how he spends his time?
Fair drinks. We're gonna have a lot of fun on radio with it. That's for sure.
Does he really think that they're gonna, if they start deposing a lot of people, that no one's gonna say, "Yeah, I've seen him drink too much"? I mean, that's really all you need is just one person.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to take a break, but before we go, no, I'll do it after the break. After the break, I want to give a fun video, just a real quick one. We'll take a detour. As a bear was rescued in Albany, and the footage is amazing because they have to tranquilize the bear, and he's up in a tree, like 40 feet, and he slowly falls asleep and falls out of the tree.
Did he hurt himself falling?
No, that's the shocking thing, because there was a group of individuals that brought out a net and caught the bear when he fell. So all that after the break, we'll get into it. 855, what do you got?
Well, I also looked up the Southern Poverty Law Center's tax returns, which are available on the internet. So that's an interesting little thing we can talk about.
Awesome. So we'll start with the bear real quick when we get back. We'll get right into the SPLC right here on the Dawn Senslin Show, hosted by Dan Borowski and Linda Kearns. Back on the other side.
Breaking news. Go to TurnersvilleCheap.com for incredible lease deals and special finance rates on a huge selection of Jeeps and Ram trucks. April is the month to save big with huge trade-in offers and giant factory incentives. Head over to TurnersvilleCheap.com today. Located on Route 42 in Turnersville or online 24/7 at TurnersvilleCheap.com. That's TurnersvilleCheap.com.
Hey, it's Mike Quick. It's time to cut your old point-of-sale systems and revolutionize your business with PDQ POS. Joe Flynn and his team at PDQ have been the industry leaders for over 35 years. They offer everything from mobile POS to self-serve kiosks and the best service and support in the industry. For the fastest, easiest, and most reliable POS available, trust PDQ POS. No matter how many locations you have, they'll build a custom solution for your business. Visit PDQPOS.com.
Baseball is back in South Philly, but is your home ready for the summer season? April weather is a total roller coaster. And if you're tired of the window dance, constantly fighting with windows that are stuck, leaky, or won't stay up, it's time to call Window Nation. Get custom, energy-efficient windows installed in just one day. This April, take advantage of Window Nation's Buy More, Save More event and save up to 50% off all window styles. Plus, you can get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Protect your home with a lifetime warranty. Visit WindowNation.com today.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000.
Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief took care of Eric's problem.
And now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
This is Jordan Lundy.
And this is Len Lundy. Lundy Law has won billions for our clients.
But more importantly, we've won the trust and confidence of thousands of people injured in motor vehicle crashes, slip and fall accidents, and work-related injuries.
My son and I hope we never meet you because of an accident. But if we do, we're here for you.
Remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com for a free consultation.
A well-organized home isn't a luxury, it's a practical upgrade. Closet Factory designs and installs custom storage for closets, pantries, garages, and home offices, built to fit your space and your needs. You'll work with a designer, choose the look, and get professional installation, so the project stays simple and the results last. Start with a free design consultation at closetfactory.com. That's closetfactory.com.
Happy National Prosthodontics Awareness Week. Dom Giordano for my friends and board-certified prosthodontist Dr. Robert Bentz and Dr. Emily Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton. It takes several years of extra training and exams to become board-certified, and less than 0.5% of dentists nationally hold that distinction. With over 30 years of experience, the team at Bentz Dental Group can design a customized plan for your long-term oral health. Visit BentzDentalGroup.com to book that appointment, 610-272-6949.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Yeah, welcome back into the Dawn Senslin Show. Dan Borowski, Dano Takeover with the great Linda Kern.
Oh, thank you.
Linda!
55 degrees in Philadelphia.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What's the high today? Do you know by chance?
No.
High
But look,
in
at least it's not
Philadelphia.
snowy.
Give me a bunch of 420 references. High in Philadelphia. Oh, nope, there it is. 59 degrees, 68 high today. Rainy, though. Yes. Precipitation at around 70% for the day. Always fun. Hey, let's go up to Albany real quick. Multiple roads closed Tuesday in Albany when a black bear climbed a tree, spent hours lounging on a branch, and police came out and helped to save the bear. The bear spent several hours on the branch until being shot with a tranquilizer dart and caught in a net below. Take a watch.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
YouTube.com/@12WPHT. You see the bear up there?
Oh, do they have a trampoline for him to land on?
It's like a net, kind of. Because last time, I don't know if you saw the viral video before, but there was a bear that they tried catching with a trampoline, and it bounced off the trampoline and fell on its head. So I don't know if that was considered.
No, Dan, where do you find this
I
stuff?
love the internet. It's great.
I see, and I don't. So there we go. But I guess I need you to find this stuff so we can talk about it on the radio. But
so you see the bear hanging there, his legs.
He has the tranquilizer dart in him at this point?
Yep, and you see him hanging.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
And he falls.
Oh, there he goes.
Luckily, good news is, soon after.
Bears are no joke in parts of Pennsylvania. They're all over.
Have you had a bear
Poconos.
encounter in your Pocono?
I actually have.
Travels?
Sure. My cameras caught a couple bears. They had taken a Tupperware container off my porch. Oh, and I'm not sure there must have been something in there that smelled, but then they couldn't get it open. And while riding my bike, I've seen them like in the woods. So
that's creepy.
Yeah.
Do you have a moment like do you freeze up and when you see them, or are you just at this point if you ignore them, they'll ignore me?
Yeah, you kind of just back off and go away. I've never been that close, and you have to be really careful. Like you can't even have anything like a bird feeder because they'll climb up the tree and eat out of the bird feeders.
We have a family of raccoons in our backyard now, and you hear them chattering at night, and it's very disconcerting when you're walking the dog and you have to pass the woods.
Right.
And you don't know if those raccoons are,
Yeah, and
they're loud. Like I've never heard chattering
like
from raccoons. So I don't know if there's like some kind of rabies thing going on or what, but it's creepy. But just real quick, afterwards, this is the same bear.
Oh, good.
Yep.
They let it back out.
So if you were wondering whether the bear was okay, because he did fall pretty hard there into that net. Bear's hesitating, but you'll see him leave. YouTube.com/@12WPHT. They're knocking on the container, and there he goes.
I wonder if he learned his lesson and he'll say, okay, I'm not going to climb any more trees because that was way too traumatic.
I stopped climbing trees 20 years ago. So.
Hey, Dan, I mentioned before that I kind of have some fans. So somebody wrote on Facebook, when I filled in over the Christmas break, one of my brothers, he does these AI songs, and he was calling in. Justin Otero was my producer, and he was playing some of these AI songs, and I was cringe. I thought I think they're horrible.
Yep.
But one of my quote unquote fans wrote, I really enjoyed your brother's music, and I'd love for him to come on and play again. So, but
wait, come on and play again?
Well, he would call in and play his songs, or he would send them to Justin, and then Justin would play them.
Press play on the songs. That's what you. Well.
What? Okay.
I was sticking up for G Love over here with the musicians and the AI.
Exactly.
You know, when you say play his songs, it makes me think he comes in with a guitar.
That's what I say. But now, now that I texted him and said, "Hey, somebody's asking for you," and he said, "Let me, let me."
Does he want to hop on?
No, we can't encourage this behavior. We cannot encourage it. That's my issue.
Remember my song I made for you?
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
It's a great song. It was stuck in my head all week.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's a great song.
No,
the listeners want to hear it. Think the listeners want to hear it?
No, I don't think they do.
No, you don't think?
No,
I think they do.
We could play an Elvis song, or maybe the listeners are tired of the Elvis.
I think they want to hear your song.
Oh heavens, Dan.
Yeah. I promise people we'll get an SPLC after this, but this is worth it.
Linda Cairns on the mic at Dawn stands Lynn's chair and she's writing. Fun little topics, a little pop.
We gotta get to the chorus.
Smiles like, let's begin.
Look at you blushing, Linda. YouTube.com/@12WPHT.
This is ridiculous.
With paper stacked and steady.
You want to talk about your paper,
When love turns mean and the porch steps shake, she helps folks breathe again.
Wait,
there she goes, talking fast and soft and low. One hand on the clock.
Ready? You ready? Let's hit it, Linda.
How a hard day feels. La 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 Linda.
La 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 Linda.
This is ridiculous. Do you write these lyrics, or does AI do it?
I gave him some for that. Yeah.
La
la la la la Linda.
Between you, I don't know if you heard, I think when I sat in last Friday and interviewed Zioli, I laughed through the whole segment. Like, the listeners are going to think that's all I do. I come in I just sit at this microphone and I
Lisa
just laugh.
says the song is so catchy. This could be a top 40 song.
Yeah, no, it can't be. Because we're not
Linda
playing
Kearns
it again.
theme song. Hey, we got to take a break. I hate to say.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll talk about the Southern
SPLC.
Yes.
And you want to tell people why that's become an inside joke?
Because you said it, and I said, "What is that?" And you
said,
said,
I go, "Let's run through the SPLC stuff."
Well, I don't know all the lingo, and but what I'll tease is, they're a quote unquote nonprofit, and just because something's a nonprofit doesn't mean not a lot of money. They are swimming in money, and they're paying their employees. I sent you the tax return. Maybe you can put it up on YouTube because it lists their highest paid employees. They're all making in the $250,000 range. Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. Sorry, I'm really just enjoying the song.
Yeah, no. When we come back after the break, play Elvis. Or anything but this.
Oh, man, it's great. All right, we'll be back after the break for some SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Center conversation. We're going to break into their taxes and see what the hell is going on. 1210 WPHT, Dano Takeover, the Dawn Stenslin Show with Linda Kearns. See you on the other side. Sorry, just one more time.
She'll catch that groove like a Friday too.
Woo!
Weather is sponsored by Natural Lawn of America.
Drier conditions return to the forecast through the afternoon. We'll have clouds with some sunshine. It'll be milder with a high 66. A pleasant night tonight, partly cloudy, low 54 for the city, cooler in the suburbs, and a very nice day on Thursday, a mixture of sunshine and clouds and warmer with a high 76.
Time's running out to secure free seeding from Natural Lawn with their full-service program. Call 800-FREE-SEED today. They offer organic fertilizer and safer weed and insect controls. Choose Natural Lawn and get free seeding every year. 800-FREE-SEED, 800-FREE-SEED.
Hi, this is Dave Barlow from Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury, New Jersey. Baseball is back, spring is here, and it's time to step up to the plate at Barlow. If you're looking for a grand slam this year, get behind the wheel of the GMC Sierra, built to knock expectations out of the park. Or ride in style with the Buick Envista. Whether you're heading to the ballpark or rounding the bases of your daily commute, the Envista delivers. Visit Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury or shop 24/7 at barlowautogroup.com. Buick, exceptional by design. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, this is Larry Steinis with Investor Schooling. How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com? I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
Find your dream ride with an auto loan from American Heritage Credit Union. We're proud to offer loans on both new and used vehicles with low monthly payments and flexible terms up to 84 months, as well as auto lease buyouts. Drive with confidence and enjoy discounts on auto insurance and added value services like mechanical breakdown protection. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/auto to get started. Insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender. Not a member? Join today.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. Heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Free speech lives here with Kaylee Company weekday mornings on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
That's more like it.
Oh gosh, it's terrible. La 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 la, Linda.
855-839-1210. What's better, Dan's crappy AI-generated slop or the King as bumper music? I vote for the King.
Yeah, you think so?
No, that's not fair because you're in charge of all the buttons. And even if I had the buttons, I wouldn't know how to do it.
I'm the king of the buttons.
So
I work my own board.
The Southern Poverty Law Center's in the news. It's a nonprofit. You hear that term a lot, nonprofit, which means it's a charity. They don't have to pay taxes on their revenue, and most of them they're basically funded by donations and grants and so forth. Well, if you ever want to donate to any type of a nonprofit, it's not that difficult to get their tax returns.
Oh.
There's a website called ProPublica, ProPublica. And if you just Google that and go to the Nonprofit Explorer and then type in the name of any nonprofit, if they have the tax return, and they get most of them, they just post it right up there on the internet for you. And you can see the revenue that they take in, the sources.
Look at these.
Not necessarily like the sources as far as who the donors are, but you can see like if they get grants and so forth. But they also have to list their directors and also their top compensated employees. So you have the Southern Poverty Law Center, and I'm sure you have people donating their hard-earned money to it. And if you look at their top compensated employees, Dan has that part of the tax return up on YouTube. They're all making almost all of them are making over $200,000 a year to run that place. Now, obviously, they're running a charity that is bringing in, I think it's well over $100 million a year. I think some years $200 million. So yes, they should be compensated and compensated fairly. But my warning to you is when you hear the word nonprofit, it doesn't necessarily mean scrappy. It doesn't necessarily mean there's no money. And, it doesn't mean that every dollar that you send is going directly towards their mission. A lot of it is going to pay these very highly compensated employees. So that's something, any charity, anything that's a 501c3, You can look it up, but again, you just Google ProPublica, and then you go to the Nonprofit Explorer, type in the name of the charity, and look it up. And sometimes you'll look at it and say, "Wait a minute! Now I've decided I'm not going to give this organization."
Yeah, like
money.
their chief program strategy officer making $250,000. Yeah, $250,000. Awesome.
Yep.
And not only are they giving ridiculous salaries and using your money to do so, apparently they were funding the KKK and other hate groups.
Yeah, that's what the article said in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, well, here's Todd Blanche yesterday talking about it.
I just want to make sure I understand. You're alleging that the Southern Poverty Law Center was paying the leaders of KKK and other groups to continue their operations? Is that?
I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. And so what the investigation found, according to the indictment that was returned today, is that they were paying. So the Southern Poverty Law Center is raising money, asking folks to give them money to dismantle racism. And over a very long period of time, they were using some of the money they raised from donors to pay to, they called them field, basically to informants, for information, for access,
That's a little bit different.
to just pay them for certain, to do certain things. And so, yes, that's exactly what the indictment charges.
Okay, so I got to ask you, as someone that deals with the legal system, I mean, is it not common for, informants to be paid and essentially to put spies into What it sounds like to me, reading between the lines there, is Todd Blanche just told us that the SPLC has people embedded in these organizations that they pay to try to get dirt on the KKK or other things.
Right. I think this is an example of why it's so important to be a critical consumer of news, because when there's an indictment like this and they report it, they're going to take out the splashiest fact and maybe report it without context. Like you said, like the headlines say, and what gets repeated is they're paying the KKK. And then when he explains it, he says, well, no, they're paying informants that we embed there. So this is an example of, and this is why, Dan, you love the internet, and sometimes I don't.
Oh, I'm a huge conspiracy theorist, too.
Yeah, because I see whenever I see something, I look at it, and then I do my own research to make sure, because anyone can write anything. And I think it really helps to look behind it. And that's why I think that's something Dawn Stensland's really good at. And I know we really miss her.
Yeah.
She'll be back soon.
I can't wait to have her back.
She's really good at asking those questions and really, really digging deep.
Yeah, well, one of the questions that I asked you privately, and I mentioned I'm a conspiracy theorist. If it's true that the allegations here are that SPLC funded people within these organizations, right now they're saying that they're informants, right?
Right.
But you heard over and over at a lot of these horrific events that we've seen play out, dividing our nation over and over again. January 6th, Charlottesville, the George Floyd riots. You heard of paid agitators going and starting these things. Does that not reframe that potential? I don't know. Have you had the thought that SPLC is paying these agitators to try to make work for themselves, essentially?
Well, first, what you must remember is that they are a nonprofit, and they are tax exempt because they are supposed to be using their funds for a charitable mission. And that might be, and I didn't read this indictment, but that might be part of the problem. If you're paying people to embed themselves in the KKK or in all these organizations, how does that further your charitable mission? And that's where, if they're going astray of that's a serious problem. And you and I texted about it because you said, well, wait a minute. If they were the ones agitating either January 6th or any of the other horrific news events, shouldn't that be investigated? Sure, I'm all for investigation and transparency, but I'm also pro moving forward. And, continuing to look back, I don't think is helping us, especially in the election context, because once elections end, they end. I do think we should investigate. I do think we should figure out what we did wrong and fix it the next time around. But to just constantly just regurgitate and relitigate things, I think that's not healthy. And I'm afraid that it discourages voters. And like I said to you, sure, if there probably were paid agitators at January 6th, but there was a lot of people there doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. You can't just excuse all of the behavior. You can call it a peaceful protest, but I don't think everyone who was hanging off the side of the Capitol was just a paid agitator. I mean, some of those people should have exercised some restraint and said, this isn't quite a good idea.
Doesn't matter, though. Like, if the person that threw a brick through the window first, I mean, I don't know. Doesn't that matter to a degree that they were the ones that follow me,
So, I mean,
who's the Ray guy?
Right, but even if you're standing with somebody, they throw a brick through the window and follow me and said, follow me, you have your own free will. Just because, I mean, what did your mom used to say when you were a kid? Like, just because everyone else is doing it, you don't have to do it. Or
yeah.
So, just because they're jumping off a bridge doesn't mean you have to.
Do we ever look into Ray Epps?
Who?
Ray Epps. He's the guy that was a prominent figure in January 6th.
Oh.
And a lot of conversation was there was pictures of him, riling people up and videos of him riling people up. And he only got 1 year probation, 100 hours of community service, a different sentence than a lot of the other less involved. So a lot of the conversation in conspiracy communities was this guy protected somehow to get a lighter sentence? Was he one of the agitators? Look into him. I mean, see if there was money from SPLC going his way.
And I don't think it's going to just be confined to and why do you love these acronyms? The Southern Poverty.
This is easier. It's easy. Everyone calls it the SPLC. Come on.
Well, you do. And I'm sure that if they were the ones paying, they weren't the only ones. And that's why when you donate your money, I think that you have to be critical and really think about who you're giving your money to and how that organization's spending it. And just because they're calling themselves a nonprofit with all these, altruistic intentions, that doesn't necessarily mean that's all they're doing, because investigations like this are gonna, make it a lot more transparent.
Cory Booker weighed in at 9:40 just before the show. The DOJ indicted the Southern Poverty Law Center, an organization that spent more than half a century fighting the Klan, tracking hate, and defending civil rights. Let's be clear about what's happening. The administration is using the full weight of federal prosecution to target an organization whose our mission is rooting out violent extremism. This is part and parcel of Trump's assault on free speech, on nonprofits, and on anyone who dares to disagree with him. First, it was lawfare against political opponents. Then it was revoking the tax status of universities. Now it's a federal indictment against one of the most historic civil rights organizations in America. Then he continues and says, the SPLC has saved lives. It will not be silenced, and neither will we. That's from Cory Booker on Twitter.
That's just, it's all... Anyone can write anything they want on Twitter. It's just all nonsense. The SPLC has saved lives. That's why people like to post on Twitter, because I can't ask questions. I can't say, okay, you're saying that they're a nonprofit. Well, where are their donations coming from? How much of their donations are actually spent on their mission? What is their core mission? And is that what they're doing, or are they straying from the core mission? If they are truly a nonprofit and have taxes exempt status, are their actions purely nonpartisan? Because that's another part of being a nonprofit. You're not supposed to be, promoting any type of political agenda. So Cory can write that type of stuff on Twitter, but maybe if he was being interviewed, he better get some of those answers ready. But, he has to posture, because that's what they do. And he or one of his underlings writes a Twitter quote, and then people like you read it on the air.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anything Cory Booker, come on, counts. Count Grant Sangela, is that what Rich calls him? Count Grant Sangela, Spartacus, and the Tears of Rage band. The guy's an idiot. And he's ramping up for a presidential run himself. It's going to be interesting. You got Booker, Shapiro.
I can't even imagine the field. I can't even imagine.
Gavin Newsom, AOC. The debates are going to be wonderful. I cannot wait. All right, we'll be back on the other side. Dan taking over. Dan Borowski, producer Dan of The Dawn Senslin Show, taking over The Dawn Senslin Show with our good friend Linda Kearns. We'll be back on the other side, 855-839-1210 to weigh in. See you in a sec.
Picking out an engagement ring can be terrifying. You're searching for the ring, but have no idea where to start. Go to Family & Company Jewelers in Marlton. The team, especially JR, makes it easy. No pressure, just real help from someone who cares. They break down diamonds, styles, and what actually matters. Their selection is huge. Every shape, size, and price range. You leave confident, not overwhelmed. When it comes to finding the ring, there's only one place to go. Family & Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. Ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
In retirement, nobody wants to have one eye on airfare and the other eye on the stock market. Tune in to the Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen, Saturdays at 6 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Living here is about more than just the headlines. It's the new restaurant opening in Fishtown. It's the playoff energy at the bank. It's the festivals that make your neighborhood feel like home.
KYW News Radio brings you the pulse of the Delaware Valley. From service journalism that solves problems to stories that celebrate our culture. We cover the life you're actually living.
Authentic, local, factual. KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news source.
Welcome to Bucks County Estate Traders.
Wow, look at the selection. So many great pieces.
If it's one-of-a-kind pieces you're looking for, you've come to the right place. We have a huge selection, from high-end brands like Stickley, Baker, and Henredon, or if you're looking for that vintage or antique piece to make a statement, we got that too.
I think I'm gonna need a few laps to check everything out.
Yeah, we hear that a lot. Happy hunting!
For quality high-end furniture built to last, visit their showroom in Hatfield or online at buckscountyestatetraders.com.
D&K Appliances is a family-owned and operated business for 3 generations located in Newtown Square and Flowertown. D&K Appliances offers one-stop shopping, providing delivery, installation, and service of top brands like GE, Thermador, Wolf, Bosch, Speed Queen, KitchenAid, and Whirlpool for your kitchen or laundry. D&K Appliance sales associates are industry experts supporting customers every step of the way. Visit D&K Appliances, the dependable difference. Newtown Square and Flowertown showrooms, or visit dkappliances.com.
Cancer. If you've been diagnosed recently, it doesn't have to be as devastating as it may seem. Chances are you didn't just get cancer recently. What you need to do is visit the team at Innovative Medical Associates. Dr. Molly Fantasia, the PhD doctor and founder of Innovative Medical Associates, has helped hundreds over the years with her unique hydration protocols geared specifically to cancer support. The team is comprised of Dr. Molly Fantasia and her doctors, plus her outstanding nursing staff. With almost 30 years in practice, Innovative Medical Associates can help you navigate the journey through cancer and beyond. To set up your initial complimentary consultation, contact Innovative Medical Associates at 856-489-0505, 856-489-0505, or visit their website, innovativemedicalassociates.com. That's innovativemedicalassociates.com. Make that appointment, and you'll be on your way to treating cancer as only Innovative Medical Associates knows how.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Yeah, welcome back into the Dawn Sensling Show. Dan Borowski and Linda Kearns taking over. Linda, what do you got? Pretty interesting story here.
Right. I'll close off the show with this article I read in the Wall Street Journal. In this little town in Louisiana, only a few thousand residents, yet they came up with this scheme. Three current or former police chiefs, an elected marshal, and a local business owner would basically manufacture crimes. So you would pay these people $5,000, and then they would manufacture some type of a crime and submit a false crime report saying that you were the victim of a crime. So Dan, why? Why would anyone want to be a victim of a crime?
Well, can I tell you? Yeah, because immigration law says that if you're the victim of a crime, you get a quick pass into the immigration.
You get a special visa. So in this little town, that's what they were doing. And the town sounds so quaint.
Wait, so people are making up crimes, becoming victims, so they can essentially say to the U.S. immigrations.
Yep.
Wow.
So because they would produce a crime report, and then you have this crime report, you go to immigration and say, look, I was the victim of this horrible crime. I need to stay here in the United States. The town sounds so innocent and quaint. It says it has a fancy coffee shop, a cozy diner, and a little boutique, and you like the acronyms. The boutique is called CCLS, and that stands for cute, classy, and a little sassy.
Oh, no, it's terrible.
But unfortunately, they were manufacturing all these crime reports, and they went down and interviewed the people in the town, and a lot of them are saying, wait a minute, this could not have happened here. But someone else mentions how some of those policemen seem to be going on a lot of cruises and had a lot of extra money. So, because if you're getting $5,000.
So no crime actually happened. The police just would write up a false report?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I tell you about another story, though?
Sure.
Yeah, I want to take you up to Massachusetts because it kind of triggered something about a month ago. Louisiana is not the only place because in Mass, a guy by the name of Kash Patel and co-conspirators set up and carried out staged armed robberies of at least 6 convenience stores and fast food restaurants in Massachusetts and more elsewhere. It's alleged that the purpose of the staged armed robberies was to allow the clerks present to claim falsely that they were victims of a violent crime on an application for non-immigrant status.
Right.
So they were actually staging armed robberies up there in Massachusetts.
So these immigration problems, it's not just people, coming over the border. There's all sorts of ways that people are really frauding the system. And you have this program which was designed for good. And then now you look at the downstream consequences, how people just really are taking advantage of the system and charging these people and then making money. So all those people, it looks like they're under indictment. So we'll see what happens.
In the course of the alleged staged robberies, the robber would threaten store clerks and or owners with an apparent firearm before taking cash from the register and fleeing. While they caught the entire interaction on store surveillance video, the clerks and or owners would then wait 5 or more minutes until the robber had escaped before calling police to report the, quote, crime. The victims are alleged to have each paid Patel to participate in the scheme. In turn, Patel allegedly paid the store owners for the use of their stores for the staged robbery. So it looks like up there, the cops weren't involved. They were being duped into thinking these were actually real robberies.
Right, but in the one in Louisiana, it was some current and former police chiefs and elected officials who came up with a little came up with a scheme. Yeah,
That's
hard.
amazing.
Dan. Yeah, hey, look, you have a program, someone's going to find a way to exploit it. I think that's what we have to expect. Or you're not playing the Linda song to close out
to close out the show. We got La 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 Linda. Yeah.
Well, I'll be back in with Dawn next Wednesday. I loved being here. I loved sitting in with you. I did not love the Linda theme music. I really only prefer Elvis.
It's so good.
Fun little topics, a little politics. She smiles like let's begin.
Maybe they should have played that for the bear in the tree. Maybe he would have just jumped down in anguish and said, I can't listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
There's Henry getting all ready for the Dom show.
Yeah. Where'd your music go? There it is.
There she goes, talking fast and soft and low.
Oh, Henry's wearing his Flyers outfit. Go Flyers. I know. Do you think the Phillies are ever going to win a game again?
Oh, it's terrible right now.
It's hard. I love watching the Phillies, but it's very.
How about the surprise of the Sixers last night, though?
I know.
Winning one.
There you go.
Nice.
I know. But it's very, I don't know. I'm praying that the Phillies turn it around because it's hard to watch those games.
I can't wait for another one tonight. Let's do it. Yeah. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe, Linda. We'll see.
Thank you for letting me sit in.
The Dano Show takeover continues as Dawn recovers from a sickness. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Unhappy married people in a bind. She hears it all and she keeps it kind. Splitting hard truths, making room to move, finding calm in the
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. President Trump says a second round of U.S.-Iran peace talks could take place as soon as this weekend. Meantime, Axios reporting the U.S. is working on a plan to release $20 billion in frozen Iranian assets in exchange for Tehran's enriched uranium stockpile. But even though Iran's foreign minister has declared the Strait of Hormuz is now completely open to ship traffic, an Iranian news agency reports not so fast. They will close the shipping traffic choke point if the U.S. naval blockade continues. Still, on Wall Street, stocks are off their highs, but still sharply higher. The Dow up 2%, almost 1,000 points higher. The Nasdaq up 1 2/3%. The S&P 1 1/3% higher, and oil down 12% to $83.50 a barrel. And another big deal in Major League Baseball. The San Diego Padres, owned by the Seidler family since 2012, are nearing a deal to be sold to the private equity billionaire Jose Feliciano and his wife for $3.9 billion, according to Dow Jones. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When you shop Goodwill, you don't just bring home a vintage dress or cat lamp. You bring home so much good to your community because everything you buy funds local job training and more. Goodwill, bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time, and, just one volley on a very, very volatile day. I'm looking at these Catholics interviewed over in Bucks County, and Brian Fitzpatrick, interviewed by the left, WHYY, attacking Trump and saying they can't vote for him again because of the Pope. Maybe these Catholics ought to be asked about something that happened yesterday that protects all of us, this indictment of the Southern Poverty Law Center. And out of all the things, and we're going to have Tiffany Justice on, her group, Moms for Liberty, this group is brilliant and tenacious, and the other side doesn't like it. They were labeled, of course, a hate group. Moms in schools, you're a hate group. Why? You don't want boys in girls' bathrooms. You don't want guys beating up on girls in sports. You're a hate group. So all the stuff associated with the Southern Poverty Law Center in that indictment, I will talk about that. And the one that bothers me the most, you know this, and Jeff Andrew may pop in. He quizzed Kash Patel about this, and it's still not right. I would drag that former FBI under subpoena back in. I want to know the names of the people in the FBI office in Richmond, Virginia, and others. And I want to know how much the Southern Poverty Law Center had to do with that. And that is the naming of those Catholic churches that the FBI, our taxpayer dollars paying for it, staked out those churches, I believe, because they had a Latin Mass. Et conspiri 220 continues. Remember that response? I'm trying to remember that response. The purpose. That was my favorite as head of the altar boys. Okay. So that's a big story. Of course, the debacle in Virginia, we'll break that down. That is also a huge story. But I was just talking with Linda. Look, in reaction to this, maybe, President Trump signed an executive order requiring states to impose stricter mail-in balloting rules and directing his administration to create a list of confirmed U.S. citizens who are eligible to vote in each state. Now, some of this is a reaction to the fact that Republicans choked up again in the Senate and won't pass the Save America Act. Look at the actions of Democrats in Virginia, right? these Senate Republicans are like little sisters of the poor, and they're playing you pick the team. That's the all-time most fearsome team in pro sports. That's what it's like. The only fly in the ointment I have with this is going to be challenged in court, and I don't think it'll win, is this. The mail-in ballot thing again, and the president going off on that. We're not going to win if we have the current playing field with the mail-in ballot. I know there's still some people, they just want to lose, I guess. We've talked about this how many times? If you don't trust something, you can take your ballot and take it to the office. Remember the struggle in Bucks County, people standing in line. They wanted to have their vote registered. They wanted to know it was registered. Remember that in 2024. When the president starts talking down mail-in balloting, that's a problem. Am I supposed to tell you it's not? Now in Virginia, a couple of things with this debacle. Democrats spent, Scott Presler seemed to be saying, and a couple of others, $64 million to lie and now take what was an equitable system there, end up 10-1 versus 6-5. The RNC spent nothing. One of the reasons is they spent $100 million, various Republican operatives, protecting this clown John Cornyn, the rhino from Texas, against Paxson. Now, I know Paxson is a bad guy, in my view. Not my cup of tea. And he might lose, but $100 million we've had to spend to protect this guy. So we have no resources to do battle, and Democrats just come rolling in. You know what else this tells me, and you have to agree with this. The other side, as I've said for how long, is animated with one thing, Trump hatred. They will do anything. They come rolling out on this. Point I was making on the mail-in ballot in Virginia, Matt Rooney has this up. It's a great point by Matt. Early voting, the liar side on the whole issue of the gerrymandering, led by 1.5. So they beat us on that side, barely. All right, might be able to live with that. I don't know why we can't win early voting at least. So why can't we win early voting then? What's the objection to that? Get the vote bank. Know that you did it. Same day voting, we won by 12 points. That's not exactly as overwhelming as I'd like it to be. And then with the mail-in ballot, they won in Virginia in this debacle by 43 points. All right, you start 44.5 down between early voting and mail-in ballot. And you want to live in this fantasy world that you're just going to roll out on election day and win these things. How many times do we have to lose? Why are people so stupid? Well, they get egged on by some who just want to get them riled up about the mail-in ballot. I despise the mail-in ballot. But I play within the system to do one thing, win. And I want to win, and one of the reasons to win is to get rid of the mail-in ballot. You'd rather just be screaming at the clouds and attacking the mail-in ballot with no mechanism in some states to get rid of it for now, until we take over. Why is this so difficult? 44.5 points behind on paper. Versus, by the way, I'm happy to look at some of the major donors to the Southern Poverty Law Center. George Clooney and his wife. You know, the thing they're involved in the most that really bothers me. And the charge with the Southern Poverty Law Center is not, as USA Today is trying to tell us, that they were paying for information. They weren't paying for information. They were paying for action to the Klan and others. And Charlottesville, I went back and I pulled it from Snopes. And you know that Snopes is not a reliable thing. You know their connection to all this stuff. But even they said Trump didn't say the Nazis and the others were very fine people. He clearly said there were very fine people also there that day. Meaning, you had the Tiki Boys. How many of them got paid off by, allegedly, Southern Poverty Law Center? You had the left maniacs, one of them with a blowtorch. Remember that? And then you had people who legitimately think the Robert E. Lee statue should be there. It's history. And those who oppose it, but they're not there to cause violence. And that's exactly what Trump was saying. Joe Biden says that's why he ran for president, because we had a president defending neo-Nazis as very fine people. It's just an endless, this whole thing with the Southern Poverty Law Center is a snapshot of 21st century what racism is perceived to be. In other words, a group that is funneling millions and millions of dollars a year, allegedly to fight racism, ginning up racism, helping to do that is the charge, so that they then can scream racism more and then get more money and continue the cycle. That's exactly what the business model was and what they're accused of, and the issues where they'll get nailed, allegedly, would be money laundering, wire transfers, and all the rest of it. So were they really paying off the Klan? How about January 2nd? I'm sure that's being looked at. Were they involved in that? So here, this premier organization that would rain down on people, you're all racist. We're going to talk with one of the biggest. They slurred with that. Tiffany Justice, one of the founders of Moms for Liberty. Moms for Liberty, a hate group. Now, tomorrow, Alante McCauley will be here again. Last week, because he went after, in city council, some of the nonsense, like 1 million abortions a year, and the other side talking about protecting children, he was told to stop using hate speech. It's just a convenient when people can't duke it out, when they have a policy that's in conflict with yours, to call it hate speech. So we got two really big issues today, and we're going to talk to Dave McCormack at 2 today. He's involved in a lot of stuff around this, the senator. But 855-839-1210, you can get in. And again, this Trump executive order, I think, is going to have tough time passing muster. I get the general idea. But the baggage that goes with it is to badmouth mail-in voting again. And you have Trump saying, I'm not voting mail-in. Okay, keep doing it. And you know what will happen in the average election. Now, in 2024, we had a dope in Kamala Harris and everything was right. You're not going to live off that. Most elections, you got to grind it out to win. All right, our side question today. I can't say so much of it. Ro and I saw the Hail Mary project. I won't even say what it's about. How's that? Because I don't want to get tempted into giving away anything. But Ro, for that film, needed not just one happy ending, but 2 happy endings. At some point, after enough people have seen it, I'll explain. So it got me on the idea, great side question we've never done, an all-time ending. Now, it doesn't have to be just on a film. That would be great. If you have one, you want to give us a commentary on it. Michael won yesterday, for example, with the alarm clock versus the snooze button versus the getting up thing in Wilmington, when we asked about rivals. Now, that's not human rivals, but it was a great call. All right, I'll take off the board to give you an idea. Seinfeld, really good episode. George wants to go out on a high note. He wants to say a joke, and then he wants, good night, everybody. He wants to leave the meeting. Now, to me, that's a great ending. You know, you don't stay around after that and everybody congratulates you, then they forget. Go out on a high, oh, they remember that. George said this. That was hilarious.
That is good.
The other one that's random. But for me, it's about taking one for the team. The end of Dark Knight. When the kid's asking about Batman and why they have to hunt Batman, we will hunt him because that's the hero that Gotham needs. And the music swells and Batman's going through the street. And the little kid's saying, why do you do that to Batman, Dad? And the explanation, to me, is a classic. That is a great ending. So there's a million of them. Get yours in early. Henry, what's yours?
Yeah, first one I'll take off the board. I guess it's low-hanging fruit, so I got to take it off right now.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
Okay.
You know, the ending of the movie Seven. If you haven't seen that movie,
Yes.
where have you been? I mean, it's 30
That's
years
fair.
old already.
Yes.
I mean, if you don't know what's in the box, shame on you. But yeah, that's a very, I wouldn't say satisfying. It's a great ending, but it's a very sad one at the same time. Another one I'll take off the board is Albert Pujols' career. Going into his final season in 2022, he was, he was 21 home runs short of 700 for his career, a very elite group of players. He only had 6 home runs at the All-Star break in July, suddenly had a second-half power surge, hit 18 home runs in that second half of the season, give him 703, joined the elite club of only 4 members to ever hit 700 home runs. Thought that was a very good storybook ending for him. And then, Dom, I'm surprised, again, you didn't take this one off. How about the U.S. Airways Flight 1549 that landed on the Hudson River?
Oh, yes.
In January 15th, 2009.
Yes.
All 155 passengers in the crash landing made it out alive. I'd like to call that a happy ending.
Yes. Now, it doesn't have to be a happy ending.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a happy ending, but
it's a
it
great
isn't.
ending.
Like, Seven's not a happy ending. I mean, their head's in a box.
That's right. We're just going by rows. Oh, boy. Waiting. You'll see if you see the film what I mean. There's a happy ending, but then there still has to be a happier ending here. Otherwise, she would have been crazy when we saw it on Sunday. Why did they do that? I should have taken off the board, too. Mention sports. Ted Williams, greatest hitter ever. He laughs even at Babe Ruth, in my estimate. Come on. There's nothing. This is maniacal, Ted Williams. Hits a home run his last time, his last at bat. Hard to imagine.
It's the Costanza. All right,
Yeah.
good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. You know, he could have run right out of the stadium. That's it, everybody. That's over. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Kirk, how about yours?
My 2 are going to be subject to debate.
Okay.
The Godfather trilogy. And
Oh, well, come on now. That's a bad. You think you Godfather 3? If we had ended with 2, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the series finale of The Sopranos. That's also subject to debate as well. So,
no, I like the series finale of these.
there was a lot of debate when that show aired, or the final episode aired.
I know.
With the black screen and what happened.
I thought it was brilliant.
No, I loved it.
It was a surprise. Everybody thought, of course, power outage or something.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't have my cable box.
No,
Exactly
but
right.
I think leaving that open was exactly what you want to do. What did I have to shoot Tony there over the roast beef? and the gentlemen's club or the members only jackets. Yeah, members only. Perfect for those guys.
Yep, exactly right.
All righty. 855-839-1210. Are you still on this loser strategy of attacking mail-in balloting? I'm not saying changing the policy, he's doing all that. But I'm saying just continuing to attack this. They'll merrily beat us then most times. Yeah, but what about 2024? Well, we did much better in mail-in balloting. Plus, it was Trump versus Kamala Harris. How many times are you going to get that? The answer is never, probably. All right, 855-839-1210.
Hey, it's Nick. Happy to say it's the return of WPHT's Piazza Pet of the Month this Friday morning at Piazza Mazda of Westchester, located right off of Route 202. Dawn, Greg, and I will be there live from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., helping to support the incredible work of Paws. Join us for a pet food, blanket, and donation drive. Stop by, drop off your donations, dry cat and dog food, kitty litter, and new or gently used blankets, sheets, and towels. We'll have coffee and donuts too, of course. Show your support and enjoy the fun. See you at Piazza Mazda of Westchester on Route 202 or go to 1210WPHT.com for more info. Hey, it's Nick Kale. How's that lawn looking? Should be green and lush this time of year. It's not? Well, then call Natural Lawn. Natural Lawn delivers great results and is safer for your family and pets. At Natural Lawn, they don't believe in using harsh chemicals. Instead, they use environmentally friendly products to grow lush green lawns naturally. From organic fertilizers to safer weed and insect controls, they make sure that your lawn thrives naturally, season after season. Homeowners everywhere making the switch to Natural Lawn's proven eco-friendly approach and loving the results. Time is running out to secure free seeding from Natural Lawn with their full-service program. Get started today. Schedule Natural Lawn's full-service program and get free seeding every year. For a greener, healthier lawn plus free seeding, call 800-FREE-SEED. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. This deal is limited and time is limited, so don't delay. Choose My Lawn Care Company. Call 800-FREE-SEED. Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed. Tell them Nick sent you.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Air conditioner, oh air conditioner, will you make it through the summer? If you don't, it'll be a bummer. Start your spring off right. We got huge rebates if that budget's tight. This is Jonathan Cans, and I am not a poet. I am, however, the third generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. We are the mainline's oldest family-owned HVAC company, and we are not private equity owned. But we are experts in rebates, big ones. And right now, there are up to $2,300 in rebates available. Contact us at marvinecans.com. That's marvinekanze.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print. They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. Helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again, that's helpwithirsdebt.com.
All Dom Giordano listeners, follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, 855-839-1210. All-time ending. Doesn't have to be a film. Could be anything that is an ending. That's what we're looking for. This will be cut 7. Yeah, here is the acting attorney general and FBI director talking about what the allegation is against the Southern Poverty Law Center.
I just want to make sure I understand. You're alleging that the Southern Poverty Law Center was paying the leaders of KKK and other groups to continue their operations? Is that?
I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. And so what the investigation found, according to the indictment that was returned today, is that they were paying. So the Southern Poverty Law Center is raising money, asking folks to give them money to dismantle racism. And over a very long period of time, they were using some of the money they raised from donors to pay to, they called them field, basically to informants, for information, for access, to just pay them for certain, to do certain things. And so, yes, that's exactly what the indictment charges.
Oh, the reporter's like, it can't be. Southern Poverty Law Center. Oh, I can't tell you how overjoyed I am with this, and you should be too. Just a more ominous organization out there. Racism. Moms for Liberty, hate group. You know what it's like to be labeled by some group that is this prominent as a hate group and have to deal with that nonsense constantly? It's just like Alante Macaulay. He's up there for a minute a week, like tomorrow at City Hall, at Philadelphia City Council. They can't handle that. It punctures their bubble of their craziness. And as a result, they have to say that's hate speech. We have a new guy out in Bucks County who is doing something very similar. This is Cut 15. Somebody has to help me. I believe this is before the Bucks County Commissioners. I need to know who this guy is. This is Alante McCauley, too. And this guy, with his remarks, tells Bob Harv DeGrasse Harvey, yo, Bob, look me in the eye. And Diane Merseglia, hey, guys, look me in the face. And then he turns to the audience to say the stuff, and he goes back and forth between them and they sit on that giant stage looking down on everybody. Right, Diane? How much did that cost? Here's a citizen. You have to tell, if he's listening, I'd love to hear this guy. This guy's got it going on. Here's his broadside at the recent commissioners meeting in Bucks County.
It's Mike Fod, and I'm from Buckingham Township, and I honestly don't know what country I'm living in anymore. You made the statement, of course, you've heard it so many times tonight, people violate the laws anytime they want. And you said it so cavalierly, so arrogantly. Of course, Mr. Harvey voted with you. Can you look at me, please? You disrespected the other voters. Thank you. A little bit of respect. You know, I agree. You don't get punished anymore. That's where the country is because of the losing liberal left policies. One state steal less than $900. It's okay. I go to Home Depot the other day to buy a tool. It's locked up. I asked the guy why. Oh, they come in shopping carts. They load it up, and we can't stop them. We're not allowed to do anything. They're the garbage policies you people endorse. Okay? Oh, but you know what? If you're a conservative Christian grandmother and pray outside an abortion clinic, you get 10 years under the FACE Act.
That's a fact. Yeah.
That's really fair, isn't it? There's no more men and women's sports. There's no more men and women's locker rooms. Can you imagine your junior high daughter, self-conscious about her body, and she has to change or take a shower next to a naked man? These are the sick policies you people endorse. There's not going to be any more rapists and murderers coming over the border. And I just got word that the killer rapist illegal immigrant just got sentenced for killing Laken Riley. See, that's something you should cheer for, guys, not just look at me. And by the way, please stay with these policies because 80% of Americans don't want them, never did, but you guys are too dense to understand this country is founded on Christian values. Thank you.
All right. I need to have this guy and Alante McCauley tag team. Like the two of them go to City Hall and they're together.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's picture handed off to this guy from Alante McCauley. You got to see this guy on tape. So Mike Fod, give us a call, Mike. A new star on the horizon. They seem like they give you more time, at least in Bucks County. They're up there on a giant stage looking down like, if you remember, with Scott Presler, that whole thing with Diane.
Seems like the High Council.
Yeah, the High Council. Bring it on.
We're better than you. We're above you.
Yeah, and tell
We're
Presler,
sitting at a big desk.
Yeah, bring it on. They sort of come down from there to the front of it to do photos with people afterward. Oh, my God. I love it. Alante, of course, in Philadelphia, in the belly of the beast, is one of the kind. But Mike Fod, give us a call, Mike. I haven't seen you before. I love how you included Bob Harvey, stooge of Diane Merseglia, alleged history buff. Let's go to David in Lexington, South Carolina. Hey, David, how have you been?
Hey, Dom, doing pretty well. As we say here in South Carolina, Happy New Year.
Well, thank you, David. Thank you.
So for my side answer today, Dom, remember the TV show Newhart where he was the innkeeper up in New England, and he had the last episode where he got hit by a golf ball and knocked out. Next morning he wakes up and he's back in bed, or he's in bed with his wife, who is now Susan Plachette from his first show, the Bob Newhart show, and he's talking about this weird dream that he had where he was an innkeeper and the hillbilly guy with his cousins with the same name and everything, and turned out the whole series was just a dream. To me, that was just the best ending of a TV show anytime.
That was a very good ending. The two of them, great couple together. Yeah, that's a really good one. All right, 855-839-1210. Coming up, we're going to talk with Tiffany Justice, one of the founders. I think she's at the Heritage Foundation at this point. We'll check on that. We reached out to her because they're one of the groups. Imagine Moms for Liberty. Haters. Every single one of them. Hate group, labeled that by Southern Poverty Law Center. They sit around haters. What was that like dealing with that? And her reaction now that we're seeing this exposure, whether they're convicted or not, there's a lot on this indictment from the grand jury leading us to believe they were definitely involved with these hate groups, real hate groups. Why were they doing that? Their claim seems to be they wanted to get information on them. Really? Seems to be there might be allegedly more action than info gathering here. So this is a big moment. This is Todd Blanche. Maybe he's going to do more than Pam Bondi and actually following through on this stuff. But the one I want someday are those FBI agents going after Catholics. And I mention that because I'm sick and tired of these Catholic bishops not storming the ramparts on that. It's only when they want to cover up for Iran and the Pope that you hear from them. All right, big guest next. Tiffany Justice, Moms for Liberty, next on Talk Radio 1210.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-965-6698, 800-965-6698, or biglou.com.
This is the sound of Jack, buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Oh, ouch. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
Hey, it's Dawn here. It's the Spring into Performance event going on right now at Piazza Acura. Lease a new 2026 ADX SUV or the sporty Integra starting at just $239 a month for 36 months. If you're looking to purchase, Piazza has you covered with financing as low as 1.99% for 60 months. Find the unforgettable driving experience you've been waiting for. Piazza Acura of Ardmore, Reading, or Westchester. See your local Piazza Acura dealer for the offer details and tell them Dawn sent you.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Weather sponsored by Natural Lawn of America.
Drier conditions return to the forecast through the afternoon. We'll have clouds with some sunshine. It'll be milder with a high 66. A pleasant night tonight, partly cloudy, low 54 for the city, cooler in the suburbs. And a very nice day on Thursday, a mixture of sunshine and clouds and warmer with a high 76.
Time's running out to secure free seeding from Natural Lawn with their full-service program. Call 800-FREE-SEED today. They offer organic fertilizer and safer weed and insect controls. Choose Natural Lawn and get free seeding every year. 800-FREE-SEED, 800-FREE-SEED.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Big issues, big guest, Tom Giordano's show. It's not often that we have an official hate monger on the show, in quotes. Tiffany Justice, one of the founders of the great Moms for Liberty What's it like when an obvious to us anyhow, cockamamie organization at best, the Southern Poverty Law Center, puts you on the hit list as a hate group? Tiffany joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Tiffany, welcome in. Question, what are you up to these days?
So right now I am focused on the midterms, Dom, very focused on voter engagement, making sure that we get people out to vote. We just saw we had a loss in Virginia. Virginia Democrats are redistricting there, and Republicans are really losing their voices. And so there are a lot of conservatives out there that do not vote reliably, and we need to make them reliable voters. Republicans need a culture and habit of voting in our states. So that's my focus right now.
Well, I feel a little bit better this morning, and you're in a position where I wouldn't put you in the middle, but I feel badly, very bad about the midterms, exactly for the reason that Tiffany Justice is there. So thank God you know what I'm talking about. We really need to do something about that.
Yeah, people need to understand, money alone does not win elections, but money is important. But you have to spend money on the right things, Dom, and the right things are actually going and knocking on doors, talking to our customers, making sure they know and understand there's an election coming up and how they should vote. And so that's my focus right now. That was my focus at Moms for Liberty. But you asked me about the hate map, SPLC. Yeah, it was wild. I remember when I called my daughter, who was, I think, 18 at the time. And I said, Ava, I want to tell you something before you hear it from your friends, because she's on social media. I said, Moms for Liberty was just designated a hate group by the SPLC. And she's like, what? She's like, Mom, what are you talking about? That's crazy. And so, of course, she goes online and she's looking at it. And she says, Mom, you guys are next to the KKK on this list.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But Tiffany, it rolls off you. It's a badge of honor. But it has real cachet in lives. For your kid, for example. My mom is up there with the KKK.
It had real ramifications for our moms.
Right.
That's what I think people need to understand. School boards use that SPLC designation as a way to try to dismiss the moms as real advocates or as people who should have a voice. I know that there were moms across the United States who had issues with their jobs. I know that there were people who worked in government who had access to classified information, or their husbands did, and that was used as somewhat of a weapon against them. And so, we can joke about it, and you're right, it rolled off my back, much like many of the death threats that I've received over the course of the past 5 years. But for our moms who were out there on the front lines in their communities, the idea that, being a concerned mom made you a part of a hate group was just crazy, but it hurt them. There were real ramifications for that designation. And so to see the DOJ, the FBI indict the Southern Poverty Law Center is wonderful. It's pretty crazy what they're indicting them for, this idea that they were manufacturing the extremism, right, so they could fundraise off of it. It just hurts the American people. And so it's time for the SPLC to be finished, done. We need to make them a non-entity that ever gets listened to again. And I'm just thankful that the DOJ and honestly, Dom, President Trump, right, putting the focus on the right things. He promised me he was going to make sure that American parents were taken care of, and he has followed through on that promise.
Absolutely. And so many things that it appears they were involved in with this course of action, like Charlottesville. The one that bothers me as a Catholic, one of the worst, is what the FBI was engaged in, and they were engaged in apparently targeting various Catholic churches that may have had Latin masses, showing up undercover on them, taking license plate numbers, visiting their homes. Stunning.
Stunning. Yeah, it really is. I remember one of the gentlemen that was an FBI whistleblower came out and said that he was at school board meetings and he was writing down license plates. I think I came on your show once before and talked about how the FBI had actually contacted one of our moms after she spoke at a school board meeting. And so, to have the government weaponized against the American parents, it's happened in our schools. We know that, right? But it's got to stop. And I'm just thankful that to have the SPLC indicted is huge. This is a very big deal and a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. Tiffany, so in addition to meeting our customers, and you're great at this, to show them we want their vote, are you in the camp? Look, I see the executive order the president signed again, coming off Virginia on the mail-in ballot, and I get trying to do that in the states and what they're doing to block it. I just don't want to be bad-mouthing mail-in ballots. I want to get rid of it when we have the power. But I look in Virginia, and a colleague of mine who's on the station put up on Twitter today, they had a 43-point lead on mail-in and a 1.5 lead on voting early. I mean, even voting early, why not vote early at least then?
Yeah, it's super important. So here's the thing. Let's look at this as a game. It's not a game in that it's a joke, but it's, there are rules. There are rules that you have to follow. Nobody wants to break the law, but you're going to follow the rules. And the rules allow for mail-in voting in many places. In Pennsylvania, you guys have you have to request your ballot, but you can do mail-in voting. In other places, you can sign up for permanent absentee. In a place like Michigan, I can go out and I can get people to sign up so they get an absentee ballot, a mail-in ballot every year, and they don't have to re-request. And so this is very important. Dom, did you know that people who have a mail-in ballot or an absentee ballot in their homes have a 15 to 20% higher rate of voting? So it's an important tool that we need to use. You're right. Ideally, we have everybody vote in person, but that's, Tyler Boyer at Turning Point has a great thing that he'll ask people, like, how many, Dom will ask you, how many bad days a month do you have? Like, just bad, crummy days, things don't go right. Like, on average, what do you think most people say?
5.
Yeah, most people say around 2 or 3 bad days. If you're looking at a certain segment of the population that's having a bad day on election day, and statistically it's going to be, 20, 30% of people, that's important knowledge to know. And so, so listen, I play by the rules that are in front of us. If the Democrats are going to do mail-in, we should be doing mail-in. You're absolutely right. The mail-in turnout for Dems was huge in Virginia. You know why that is? Because they went out and they knocked on the doors of their 4 of 4 voters. They're people that always vote, because those are the people that vote in that type of a spectral election. You're not getting people who have never voted before all of a sudden showing up and voting on April 21st. Maybe you can, a segment of them, but it's not going to be your best return on investment. Your best return will be going to those voters who have a culture and habit of voting and getting them out to vote because you know that they already care, right? And so that's what we should have been doing. It should have been happening since January. We should have been paying door knockers on the ground in Virginia. It was something that I was very passionate about. I tried to make happen. I wasn't able to in the way that I wanted to, but that's what needed to happen in that situation. I do think if we had done that, we could have won.
I couldn't agree more. It was that close, and if we did win, it takes all their momentum away. I mean, as I see it heading into the midterms, they have 2 rock-solid things, as fraudulent as their policies are. 1, Trump hatred does drive their people out to vote. And 2, they have a word, even though fraudulent, but at least they have something, Tiffany, affordability. They've stolen it. They're not affordable, but they just keep saying it. And I have to say, politically, if you have a word and you keep saying it, it's helpful when you have nothing else. So that's what we're up against. What are you trying to instill? And you're talking to people actually quarterbacking some of this, and they respect your voice. What are you trying to tell them we have to be pitching for the midterms?
Well, a couple things. First of all, you're right about the anger. Anger motivates people to vote more than anything else. So, this idea that they're working off of their Trump derangement syndrome is true, and it will drive out a segment of their voters. What am I talking to people about? Well, I mean, ideally, we're going to see gas prices come down. Ideally, we're going to see some resolution in Iran to some degree by, June 1st. I think by August 1st, we've got to see gas prices down. We've got to see the economy turning around. I think the president's working really hard to make that happen. But, I think ultimately the gas prices are difficult for people to handle. Airline prices are up, right? Everything is more expensive right now. And so it is an issue that we have to address. And, you're right. The Democrats are very good on messaging. They say a word over and over and over. What I'm going to say, the word that I talk to people about is freedom. COVID is not a distant memory for me. I remember very clearly that there were people that told me that I couldn't go outside and breathe air without a mask over my face or my children's face. I couldn't go to school. My kids couldn't go to school. I couldn't go to church. I couldn't go to the beach. I had ridiculous rules that were, and they wanted me to get a vaccine that I didn't need, right? That wasn't effective. And so that's not so far in the past that I don't remember it very clearly. I think there's a huge segment of voters who remember it as well. The Make America Healthy Again voters should absolutely remember this, right? And so I'm going to be talking to people about 28. We need to get you out to vote in 26. We need to help the president to finish his agenda, and we need to keep the House. We need to keep the Senate. We need to keep moving forward and getting things done. And then we need to win in 28. We have to elect a Republican president in 28. And so that's where my focus is, and I'm just going to keep reminding people that our lives are better under President Trump, that we have more freedom, that our rights are respected, that we, our rights certainly to direct the upbringing of our children, the most important thing in my life right now. And so I'm going to keep reminding people of that, and I'm going to pray and hope that the president's able to, get the economy going in the right direction. I'll tell you what, if I'm betting on anybody, it's on Donald Trump. Right.
Well,
he loves the American people. So I think he's going to do
am
everything
betting on Tiffany Justice. I'm so glad you came on today on the one. I'm serious about that. What you have triggered is and I can see how stunning it would be. I know any number of these women who were a bit more timid about this, and suddenly, when you're being told you're a member of a hate group, that's a fastball right at the head. That's what they were doing. I know with you and some of the others, it doesn't bother you. Move on. But these others have kids and jobs. You laid it out beautifully. This is what they tried to do to us.
Yeah, they wanted to silence us. They wanted to kill our speech. But I'm proud of the moms because let me tell you, they did not give up, and they did help. They did help get President Trump in that White House, and this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for him. So,
where do we find you, Tiffany? And if you come to Pennsylvania for anything, let us know. We want to participate.
Yeah, I'm actually working with Citizens Alliance, Cliff Maloney, Pennsylvania State.
Okay.
So, so you may see me in Pennsylvania because I want to make sure that you guys are able to protect yourselves. You have a very close races in Pennsylvania this year. So you can follow me on X. That's probably the best way for people to follow me at the number 4, Tiffany Justice. Just, get out and vote. Talk to your friends about voting. It's the most important thing we can do. Your voice matters and your vote matters.
Say hello to Cliff for us. We're big fans of his, too.
I will.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Great. Thank you.
Take care. All right, Tiffany Justice. Sometimes you're living right. We have her on for that, and she swerves right into the midterms. Aha! Mike Fod coming up here. Oh, man, this guy's he's the suburban version. Can you imagine Olante, though, there with Diane Marseglia, his tactic versus Mike's? Oh, my God.
Yep.
The fastball versus the slider here. All right, you just heard Mike. We played you that clip from the commissioners' meeting. He's coming up next to talk about how that went and what he does. I hope he does it every week. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Spring is here, and it's time to get moving, exploring, and enjoying whatever activity awaits you this season. But if stiff, achy joints are holding you back, well, listen, Glyco Plus is your ultimate joint health companion. It's an advanced blend formulated specifically by Rescue Natural Supplements to help you keep your joints flexible and moving comfortably. And right now, listeners can buy one, get one free. Just use the code RELIEF. Powered by patented collagen and research-backed green lip muscle complex, Glyco Plus supports healthy cartilage and actually helps you to cushion joints for smoother movement and reduced stiffness, promoting better overall mobility. You'll notice over time. Just go to res-q.com. Use that code RELIEF. You buy one bottle of Glyco Plus, you got one free. Or call a product consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Start embracing an active life with comfort today. Shop Glyco Plus, res-q.com. Use that code RELIEF, RELIEF.
Today's gold price is brought to you by Edelman's Coins, Philadelphia's local bullion dealer, celebrating its 100th year anniversary, a fourth-generation company. Visit edelmanscoins.com to learn more.
Today's gold market price is $4,756.80.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is legal tax defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about legal tax defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
Some companies add kitchens and baths when business slows down. At Kitchen Magic, it's all we've done for 46 years. That focus matters. It's why over 60,000 homeowners have trusted us. It's why we're family-owned and operated. It's why we manufacture locally. And it's why April is our biggest month of the year. Right now, get 40% off installation on your kitchen or bath remodel. Kitchen Magic. Specialists then, specialists now, specialists always. Call or visit our website now to schedule your free consultation.
Looking for a great real estate agent? Someone who can help you sell your home fast and for top dollar? Go to ready.com, REDY.com. Because on Ready, agents will pay you just for the opportunity to sell your home. Yeah, on Ready, agents will pay you for your listing. Thousands of dollars up front just for a chance to sell your home. And it's easy. Just go to ready.com, enter your address, and when you want to sell. In just 48 hours, the best local agents are competing on Ready to be your agent with cash offers up front just to win your business. Hey, your listing is valuable. Don't give it away. Make those agents earn it. Get paid to pick your real estate agent. Go to ready.com or call 888-525-REDY. 888-525-READY.
Yo, Doylestown, we know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. We're always on the lookout for people in the area that are shaking things up. Alante McCauley, he'll be here tomorrow, is one. And Mike Fod on the radar screen. We played you today. He's from New Hope. Mike Fod in front of the Bob Harv DeGrasse Harvey, stooge of Diane Marseglia, and the do-nothing Republican Gino over there, talking to them about a wide variety of issues. Let's go to Mike on Talk Radio 1210. Mike, where have you been all of our lives? Welcome.
Well, I can tell you, I'm at the King of Prussia Mall now with my wife, Denise, and my sister-in-law, Terry, called and said, your video came up again on Tom Giordano. I'm like, you're kidding me. I love that guy's show.
We always love hearing that. Well, Mike, are you a weekly fixture? I know it's hard for people that work. They do that intentionally. They don't meet after work. Is that the first time you've done this?
Yeah, I mean, you mean speak at the commissioners meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was outraged that they counted illegal, unsigned, unsealed votes, and they were, Diana was just giving it a pass, like, hey, everybody breaks the law. And I'm like, I'm tired of this. I go into Home Depot, I literally have to get 80-year-old Giuseppe to open up the cage and give me a battery for my leaf blower because he says they load up the carts and they walk out and we're not allowed to stop them. And it's just one of many things that outrage me about liberals not following the rule of law and just, bringing in the woke ideology. It's not the woke ideology. It's the country was founded on Christian principles.
So this is an old tape, Mike? How old is this?
It's about 15 months. And I'm shocked.
Okay.
I mean, somebody told me it got 7 million views, but I thought it was dead.
Oh, no, it's very much alive. We would love to see you do that out there in Bucks County. Diane definitely needs that. So, Mike, are you affiliated with any groups, or this was just spur of the moment?
No, it's just a spur of the moment. I mean, my wife took me to a movie the other night called The Great Awakening.
Yes.
I was blown away. I mean, it was exactly what I was trying to say. The country was founded on Christian principles. In the movie, this guy, George Whitefield, gave his life to Christ. He started talking to the founding fathers, and I'm like, that's exactly what happened to me. I gave my life to Jesus Christ when I realized he took the punishment for my sins, and he changed me. And he changed millions of people in America, and people long and hunger back to good old Christian values, family principles. They're sick of woke ideology.
Well, you had a litany, and I love this style. I don't know where it came from, telling them to look at you and then looking at the audience and then looking back to them. That takes a lot to do that. How much time do you get out there in Bucks County?
Well, they give you 3 minutes.
Okay.
And they don't look at you. They don't respect you. He's writing down his notes. I had to say, can you look up? Can you put the pen down, Harvey?
Well, Mike, what do you do? What's your day job?
I'm a public adjuster. I help people who get hit by the weather, and I help them get money from these insurance companies.
All right. Well, Mike, I hope if you speak again, you'll let us know. We were thrilled by it. We have a guy on who speaks before Philadelphia City Council. If you have a chance tomorrow, he's on every week at 1 o'clock. He only gets a minute, and yet all hell breaks loose every week that he speaks. Man. It's amazing. So what you did there was reminiscent of that over 3 minutes. It was brilliantly done, really.
Well, I want to thank you again, Don, and for your listening audience out there. Guys, give your life to Jesus. He'll change you. He'll heal your family. If life is struggling, that's what the country was founded on. Call on him. He died for you. Thank you, Don.
Mike, thank you very much. A pleasure to have you today. Thanks, Mike.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, we still have to team him up with Alante. Well, Alante's partnered. He'll probably be on Monday, right? Because the flip Chicago red guy, I don't know if Chicago beats us. Was their mayor alive when Billy the Kid was alive? The last Republican mayor in Chicago. I thought they had one because of a snowstorm or something. I don't know that Atlanta might be a little bit longer than us. But these blue cities, I mean, New York has had several Republican, at least on name only, Republican mayors. Chicago, Philadelphia, and Atlanta are the three that always come to mind. That was just brilliant stuff by Mike Fod. I didn't know it was that old. It just popped up on all the stuff that we go to for sound today. All right, coming up, Dave McCormack will be with us at 2 o'clock today. We'll give you more. You heard brilliant stuff from Tiffany Justice toward the midterms. The RNC spent nothing in this Virginia race because they're tapped out from the $100 million they spent for Cornyn. Ridiculous. We could have won this one. That would have really pushed back on them. By the way, it's not true. Even though Trump was prominent in trying to do some of this in Texas, New York started it. New York started the new gerrymandering, and then we had the battle in Texas. The difference in Texas is Republicans won that by 15 points, and it's 73% of the state that would be maneuvered here. They maneuvered 91% of it, and they barely won. They won by a few points in Virginia. That's a big difference. But in the on-deck circle, Ron DeSantis, Florida, I think it's next week. They start their look at this. So Florida could change the ball game back here. But the big issue Tiffany Justice underlined is Democrats are fired up for the midterms. Trump derangement syndrome / screaming affordability. Republicans are not. Why not? Look, we can blame the Republicans all we want. A guy like John Thune. You think I'm a John Thune guy? Who could be a John Thune guy? Give me a break. I get it. But if we don't win, you know what the consequence is. That's all that you have to know. You know what the consequence is. 855-839-1210 gets you on board.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Jerry Garcia says, slow news day, I guess, huh? Hey, Jerry, this will be the highest rated segment we do all week.
So here's the deal, Jerry. There's this thing called an app and YouTube. You can go back. We talked about Iran. We talked about Swalwell. We talked about Diana Rossini. We've talked about the stuff that matters. I am not doing the same topic for 4 straight hours. All right, Jerry?
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
The music that redefined Broadway comes to life with the Philly Pops. Experience the unforgettable music of Lin-Manuel Miranda. From Hamilton to Encanto, Moana, and beyond. Performed live with the Philly Pops in Everything I Know. featuring renowned vocalist Mandy Gonzalez and led by music director Chris Dragon. This concert brings to life Miranda's signature storytelling from Broadway to blockbuster movie. Don't miss this extraordinary afternoon of music, April 25th at 3 p.m. Get your tickets now at phillypops.org. That's phillypops.org.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, it's Nick Kale. Time is running out to secure free seeding from Natural Lawn with their full-service program. Call 800-FREE-SEED today. They offer organic fertilizer and safer weed and insect controls. Your lawn will thrive season after season. Get started today, schedule Natural Lawn's full-service program, and get free seeding every year. For a greener, healthier lawn plus free seeding, call 800-FREE-SEED. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. This is a limited-time offer. Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds. Guaranteed.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
All right, it is Dom time. Here's how you get in. 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. You got the side question today. Side question today, simply hit us with that all-time ending of any sort. Sports, film, real life, something that's real or fictional. That's what we're looking for. All right, we all know that America is experiencing tip fatigue, but one that particularly caught my attention today is Papa John's. Apparently, I'm looking for it here. Papa John's box, the pizza box you get, tells customers to tip delivery drivers. A message encouraging Papa John's customers to tip their delivery drivers has enraged social media users. They complain about the delivery costs that you have to pay. And they also complain about the idea of tip fatigue. So they say the message on its pizza box is encouraging to tip delivery drivers has gotten people nuts. Now, I happen to think this is in with the zone. This is a tough job, a dangerous job. You could be robbed. You could be shot. Pizza delivery guys. So I wouldn't get enraged by this simply because this isn't one of those things where they're not doing anything for you. It's not even remotely in the circle of tipping. And again, they're going after Papa John's because the head guy there, Papa John himself, makes $8.44 million apparently last year. And they're talking about, well, the company should pay its workers more. Yeah, but the tipping is not necessarily about that. It's about the overall idea of you're making a choice about whether you want to do that or not. Now, how are you judging your tip of a Papa John's pizza guy. If it takes forever to get the pizza, it may not be their fault. Is that what you judge? Is it just their demeanor? Is it if you're feeling good or not feeling good? I think they're within the zone of tipping. I don't get nuts, but there is tipping fatigue, and there are anti-tip people out there who don't get the legitimate use of tipping, where it allows you actually to make a decision with your money. And when it's curtailed by these people just saying, well, the employer has to pay all these no tipping things, I think they end up in failure ultimately. So, Henry, how much would you tip, or what's the judgment on whether you tip this guy or not?
I do think the timely manner of it has to matter. And then, if you're someone who checks your food when at the door, I think that also matters too. Just make sure it's not smashed and destroyed. And if that's the case, you should get 15% because, look, I'm someone who worked as a pizza delivery driver at one point.
You did?
And yeah, just a very short time.
Dangerous?
No, I wouldn't say dangerous, but more so annoying because the vibe I get from a lot of people, at least delivering, was like you go to someone's house, they have like 8 pizzas, and then they give you maybe a buck or two over, the actual charge of the pizzas, and they'll be like, hey, keep the change. And they say it like really, proudly and confidently. It's like, oh boy, $1.20. Thank you so much, sir. Like, so yeah, I do think.
Well, why do they seem to think they're not in the tipping zone? That's what I think these people are saying.
Yeah, and you know what? I guess it's gotten so bad with Papa John's that they've heard back from like all their drivers across the country, like, hey, let's put something on the boxes, make sure we get a little something here.
Right.
Because this is ridiculous. I can't have 30 cents from every house.
But does that? I think it helps. Yeah, I think it helps with the tipping. I don't think it starts enough backlash. The person who's angered by this wasn't going to tip anyhow, I think. And I get tipping fatigue. So what's the worst? Here's what I'm asking. I remember where we were a few buildings ago, and it was just a small, like a deli inside the building at NBC 10. And they started putting out a tip jar like right before Thanksgiving and stuff like that. But I mean, there wasn't anything to be tipped for per se here. They weren't waiting, you know what I mean? It's just making a sandwich, I guess it'd be felt like. But a lot of people didn't like that. Or if you go into I remember one was a Dunkin', and they have a tip thing there. The best is the online. That's what gets people. They're trying to guilt you into that.
Yeah.
About putting a tip because it's an online message staring you in the face and you're saying, no, I'm not going to do that.
The guiltiest one is when they flip the screen around at you for like, getting you an ice cream or something.
Right, exactly.
And then, you have to say no to that person in front of you. Like, at least online, it's like, hell no. But like in front of you, you have to like consider it for a second. Like, oh, is this 10% maybe? No tip.
All right. So would you resent that in the manner that this is blowing up? And again, in many places, particularly in the city, this is a dangerous job. All right.
I think it's too late if you're putting it on the box.
Right.
Like I've already got the change. What I'm giving you. I've already pretty much predetermined that in my head for the most part.
What are you going to wear a shirt? We accept tips.
No. I think it should be like in like the confirmation or like the receipt or something. Like, hey, just a reminder. Like at the end, like, hey, please tip your drivers.
Oh, boy.
But it's tipping mandatory.
I get annoyed by the box.
That is more direct. But
how is it's on your pizza box? That's as direct as it gets.
Yeah, but at the point of sale, I don't know if people get more upset. I'm not understanding why in the pizza box it's getting them crazy.
Right. I agree. I don't think you should be like quote unquote forced because you see it on a box. I don't think you should be forced to do it. I mean, I think it's your choice to tip or not.
Yeah, I might have more problem at the point of sale about it.
That's
constant reminders there.
Well, I mean, and a lot of these orders they're not cash orders anymore. They're online orders. You've already prepaid.
Oh,
so if it's on the box, then you're really screwed. Like, what's the point of handing over that box? I already paid you. Or didn't.
Now, incident that I have, and I never do it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I know if it's a bad guy. The Sunoco station in Mount Airy where I fill up at a couple places. There are kids there. As soon as the weather gets nice, can I pump your gas? And I pay by cash. I don't pay that with plastic. But most people, that's their out. No, I'm paying inside by plastic. I can't do it. So then there's a mob of people there waiting for you to pump your gas. And again, I get the impulse to try to hustle and make some money, but why not? Is it unclear to you that there are other ways of doing that to get a part-time job, if that's what you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you have somebody pump your gas?
No.
No. Kirk, how about you?
He's on the phone.
Oh, he's on the phone. All right. So 855-839-1210. You get in. Let me go to Kevin in Habertown on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, Dom. I'm a liberal. Okay, not a progressive. I'm a liberal.
Well, what's the difference? How do we know that? What would be the point? Be liberal versus progressive?
We don't know that because I told you. Okay. You know, the Secretary
I don't know
of
why
Labor
you're
came
blanching
on
at
last
that.
week and told you about taxes with tips.
Yeah,
and where's she today?
I'm just asking you, though, how do you distinguish? Just interested. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to.
No, I can answer. I'm a Hubert Humphrey Democrat.
Oh, okay.
I believe that you take care of people at the dawn of life and the dusk of life.
Well, that means you wouldn't be committing millions of abortions.
It means what I just said.
Well, it means you wouldn't
abortions?
be committing abortions in certainly in late stages. Then, right? I think Humphrey would agree with that.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Okay.
I'm out of sync with that.
Okay.
And you go after transgender people. Don't you think there's already enough weight on them that you guys going out there, you build the ballroom Catholics? And that's all you are, criticizing the Pope. Only the build the ballroom Catholics.
Build the ballroom Catholics. I love that one. That's a new one. But let's take them in order. How about the females who are working hard not to have to compete against a guy, Kevin? What do you tell them? Not me.
Let me tell you something. I was at a Democratic meeting last week. 63 people. I asked that question. Put up your hands. Who's for, transgender women, the Penn swimmer? That's when, 3 hands went up.
Okay.
It's a non-issue. Democrats
excuse me. It's not a non-issue with the party itself and the National Party. It's not.
Well, are you in line with everything the National Republican? Are you in line with what Trump posts himself as Jesus Christ? Are you in line with that?
Oh, I know, Kevin. Wait a minute. That's not a policy. We're talking about their policy and actual actions, okay? And I've said many times Trump shouldn't be doing that. You're exactly right. That's a policy, though, Kevin, that your party supports.
Yeah, well, you know what? My party doesn't have everything that I like.
Okay, Kevin, here's the thing. Here's how this is seen, though. You probably know this, but okay, you're different than some of these others. It's seen this way. If I can't trust you on something as fundamental like this, how would I trust you with the economy, with national security and all that, when I can't trust you not to keep men from competing against women?
Well, it's a thought. How can I trust you to govern me if you post pictures of yourself as Jesus Christ? Now, you say, he does things and he does things. How can I trust him?
Okay, well, wait a minute. That's a fair rejoinder. Wait a minute.
Who kicks Catholics out of the Pentagon.
That is a fair thing to throw back. But again, that's not a policy. This is a policy that they're following.
How am I supposed to think I'm not allowed to say anything about Charlie Kirk, but you guys can mock Joe Biden as he's dying, as people on your radio station did yesterday? The man's dying. Can you give him a break? And your guy, that clown, that Nazi, has been in office for a year and a half. It's his economy.
Well, wait a minute.
Kevin,
Kevin, wait a minute. You said you distinguished, and you just called President Trump a Nazi.
He is.
He is. You want to stand by that? Do you know what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Well, I don't think you do, Kevin. Then you're not a liberal.
Are you going to send the police to me? Are you going to send the police after me?
No, I don't have to. You've unmasked yourself. You've just shaken in a minute right here how nuts this is. A Nazi.
Okay, Victor. All right, can I offer evidence?
Sure. Let's hear it. Yeah.
He sends J.D. Vance over to campaign for Viktor Orban, Putin's puppet.
So that makes Trump a Nazi now.
Okay, so now the president of Belarus is coming to the White House. Now, am I starting to build a case?
No, you're still not, because it's sacred. You don't call people Nazis. That's a very, very rare thing. Thank you, Kevin, very much. Nice workout. I enjoyed that with Kevin, but that doesn't seem to me to be liberal. That seems to be beyond it. But maybe the average liberal thinks the same thing. You can throw, as soon as you throw around Nazi, you're losing. You can go after Trump on the Jesus thing, as I have, ridiculous. And the reason I resent it is it undermines him taking on the Pope, who needs to be taken on. This guy is, the alleged cardinals need it even more. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is push pound 1210. We are looking for an all-time ending here. And are you somebody like Roe, and this is remarkable, need it for the Hail Mary project? All right, Ro, that was a happy ending. No, there's still one thing out there. I need that too. Oh, my God.
The complete closure.
Complete happy endings. Multiple happy endings. Everybody has a happy ending in this. We're not asking for that, but if you like happy endings, you could tell us that.
Oh, boy.
We need an all-time ending. I like one of Henry's, and I do like George going out on a high note as an ending. Think of endings. Think in any walk of life, I'm afraid. Zeno's early today. What could go wrong? Coming
Right,
up.
exactly.
Yeah. 855-839-1210.
Hey, it's Nick. Happy to say it's the return of WPHT's Piazza Pet of the Month. Tomorrow morning at Piazza Mazda of Westchester, located right off of Route 202. Dawn, Greg, and I will be there live from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., helping to support the incredible work of Paws. Join us for a pet food, blanket, and donation drive. Stop by, drop off your donations, dry cat and dog food, kitty litter, and new or gently used blankets, sheets, and towels. We'll have coffee and donuts too, of course. Show your support and enjoy the fun. See you at Piazza Mazda of Westchester on Route 202, or go to 1210WPHT.com for more info.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-948-7878. That's 800-948-7878.
Looking to elevate your home with timeless beauty? At Suburban Marble and Granite, a proud veteran-owned business, craftsmanship meets premium quality. They source only the finest imported stone from around the world, perfect for kitchens, bathrooms, slab walls, outdoor spaces, and custom projects that truly stand out. From design to installation, their team delivers A-plus service and stunning results every step of the way. Suburban Marble and Granite, endless possibilities, spectacular results. Visit suburbanmarble.com to get started today.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
Tune in to the Crash Proof Retirement Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Joanne Small-Canella and Tracy Stillman. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Joe Conklin hosts comedy nights at Parks Casino every month in 360 Lounge. For full schedule, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com! Right. Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Endings is what we are looking for today on the side. Bad news from the front there. I'm trying to get Scott Presler on. He was very much involved in the Virginia debacle. And the RNC spent no money on that. You know, the RNC not exactly hitting home runs here. I'm encouraged. You heard Tiffany Justice talking about the midterms. And if you have players like her and Cliff Maloney and Presler, and you actually put them in charge, we would win. Instead, you have the usual suspects that are involved here. And the mail-in part of it, Matt Rooney on his Twitter, we were in Virginia, no, meaning no, you're not going to gerrymander this, plus 12 for no's on Election Day, won by 12 points. But in early voting, yes won by 1.4. And also on Election Day, it won by 43 points. Yes. I mean, on the mail-in ballots. So what does this tell us coming out of this? It's just one battle. I realize that. But it tells you what I've been saying. And she agreed. The hatred of Trump just fuels them. They just can't get enough. So how do we counter this? All right. We got a big race coming up for governor. I know even people I really like whisper to me at events or whatever, oh, my God, Stacey Garrity, no shot here with Josh Shapiro. I don't see it that way. Stacey's got to get here to the 5-county area, though, and become better known. And it's hard to get traction with this guy. They won't report on the Greenberg case that he's involved in big time. They won't report, the Inquirer and others have not reported on the Vereb case, the sexual harassment case. They don't report on him stealing the land of his neighbors as I see it. He's a golden boy. So to complicate matters, the Doug Mastriano people are back. Politico, big story today. They're going all out there in the hinterlands, a write-in campaign for Doug Mastriano, which means as we head toward the primary on May 19th, where a lot of people may think, why would I go out and vote in the primary? I'm just cautioning you. We don't want Stacey Garrity to have to fend off this maniac. And look, Doug is a nice person at a personal level, but it's crazy what he did. And he unleashed Josh Shapiro on us and maybe on the nation. And he lost the House of Representatives. So I'm looking today. It's the 7th try. And we're just talking to the guy who says he's a Hubert Humphrey Democrat. I've never gotten a call like that, I don't think. Wow. Joyous warrior till we talked abortion. Anyhow, 7th try today to actually get a vote from a committee on the Fairness in Women's Sports Act. 7th time. And what Democrats keep on doing is saying at the 11th hour, no, we're going to shift it to another committee. I don't know how many committees are left. The only thing they could do is do a discharge vote. Democrats only have a 1-seat majority in the House, thanks to Doug Mastriano's annex in the Shapiro election. We got killed there. We lost 1 seat by, I think, 49 votes, 100 votes. It's due to him and these crazy people out in the hinterlands who are mounting this write-in campaign for him, distracting from defeating Josh Shapiro. This is a no-brainer, and they know it. Any number of Democrats will sign off on it. I mean, and you heard the caller. Well, it's not an issue anymore. Of course it's an issue, buddy. I'm not letting up on this ever. They want to say it's not an issue, then just say, no, we're against this. We'll have a vote in Harrisburg on the Fairness in Women's Sports, and men will not be able to participate, or boys against girls. Just do that, and then the issue will go away. But they won't do it. They won't even allow a vote on it. It's incredible. 7th time, and they keep on shifting committees. I admire how ruthless they are as an opponent, and I just want Republicans to match them. Whatever they have to do it. I don't care what it is in Harrisburg. Whatever whatever you have to do, these people have to be brought to account. It's clear 80%, 85% of people maybe in Pennsylvania support this. You can't have a male in the locker room, particularly in sports. It's anathema. It's ridiculous. They won't let it come up for a vote. Here we go again. I just saw it on Twitter. 7th time now. And they mock. You're not getting a vote. That big mouth coward from Norristown, Matt Bradford, the guy who actually runs Pennsylvania. So no, this issue is alive. And we should be spending tens of millions more in the midterms. If you got $100 million, spend it. The American people, when they saw Kamala Harris talk about illegal aliens getting sex changes and boys against girls, it's anathema to them. They want to know, where do I vote to stop this madness? Well, they're not going to stop it. They believe it. They want to hide it by all sorts of tactics, including not allowing people to vote. But Stacey Garrity, if nothing else, has to wrinkle up Josh Shapiro a bit. In other words, if Josh Shapiro beats her by 20 points, that is going to be a ticket to the top 3 for the Democrat nomination. This guy, even among politicians, is ruthless beyond belief. So even if we don't win, which I think is doable, he's never had a real opponent before. His money's coming from outside the state. He's on the wrong side of this issue and a bunch of other issues. He's got the media, that's true. They can't get enough of Josh Shapiro. They're in the tank. All right, 855-839-1210. Let's go to Joe in Columbus on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe, good morning.
Hey, good afternoon, Dom. Dom, you got to ask these guys. I mean, that caller, he held off showing his liberal fabric until he couldn't anymore. He started, the trait I always look at is them having to talk through you and interrupt you. But you got to ask these people what their definition of a Nazi is. You got to start doing that because you'll back them into a corner. I mean, my question is, was Reagan a Nazi? He negotiated against Gorbachev. Does that make him a Nazi? I mean, that seemed to be his only definition.
Right. Well, I'm in a camp that thinks as soon as you label the Nazi, we just want you to repeat it, you're done. That's it right there. That's all you have to do.
Well, yeah, true. It
takes you out. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been called a Nazi and a fascist, but people can't define it. What's a fascist?
Mm-hmm.
They just can't do it. Well, you just are. Well, tell me, give me the definition. Give me a comparison. Let's see you hold your ground. And they can't. They never can. Don, my side answer, I don't think it was a happy day for you guys, but I cannot imagine the exuberance of the moment to hit not just the game-winning home run, but the World Series-hitting home run, which was Joe Carter against Mitch Williams.
Yeah, well, I could tell you it wasn't so good. And I'm the guy that coached Mitch Williams when he started doing radio and all, and I had conversations with, it was bad. It was bad for him, yeah.
Put yourself on the other side of things. I mean, Gary Carter probably didn't even feel his legs rounding the bases trying to absorb what just happened. And, that ball's on you in less than a quarter of a second, and it flies out, and you're trying to absorb what just happened, leaving home plate and eventually returning to home plate. That's got to be a feeling that you can't take in until the next morning.
Well, it is one of the all-time worst endings, but it's a prominent ending, Joe. And for Joe Carter, you're exactly right. Thank you, Joe. All right, 855-839-1210. You get Mitch Williams, awfully nice guy. Brutal, though, to have to deal with the consequences of that. You can imagine. And the game before, as I remember it, the Phillies were ahead by an unbelievable total, and they came back against them. It was tough. And right now, with the Phillies, I have not seen a meltdown. But it's not even a meltdown. It's not ending with a bang, but with a whimper.
Yeah.
That's how they're playing right now.
It's crazy because as bad as they're playing, we're not even the worst team in the division at this point.
Well, that is Mondani. I think the Mets ought to bring somebody else.
Yeah.
Now, who should the Mets bring in to hug the mascots? Because after Mondani did it, it's 12 in a row. Bring in the wife. That's what bring in the wife. Bring in AOC. Bring in D.A. Bragg. What prominent New Yorker should they bring in to hug the mascots?
Letitia James?
There you go. If this happened in Philadelphia, oh, man, New York, I think, is more blasé. Here we would take that seriously.
Do you think they'd go with more of a New York figure or maybe a different McDonald's character this year?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Hamburglar, maybe breaks out of prison?
Somebody like that. That's a good idea with Mr. Met. Stunning. All right, all-time ending is what we are looking for. And again, Dave McCormack has been a busy guy talking about he knows guys that drink, and yet they still get the job done about FBI Director Patel. And he's the guy that introduced the new Fed director that Trump wants, which is a key position that we don't talk about enough. Exactly what do they do? And we have Elizabeth Warren in meltdown mode over having this guy as the new Fed guy. And I think, again, what Trump wants and what we need is a rate cut. Always need a rate cut. Looking at a story today, too, though. Is this just TikTok? Young Democrats now are more hostile, much more hostile toward Israel than even Iran or China. How could we be more hostile toward Israel more than China? And again, I meant to bring this up the other day. Recent polling shows over the last year or so, favorability of China has gone up by 8 points. You have to be a moron. China is the existential enemy of the world. We saw what they did during COVID. We know what they do every day. They're not an adversary. Yeah, we can talk Putin. You know, I think Putin is evil incarnate, but he doesn't have the power that China has. I know he has all those missiles and all that kind of power, but China is the enemy. China is what we have to face. Do we have the ability to do that? Apparently not. We want to wish it away. When I think about them, I think about COVID. I think of their daily practices. They are the enemy of the entire world. And the world wants to look the other way. It's hard to look at something like this and say, how do we beat them? But that's what you have to do. You're not going to coax them along. They'll play ball here or there. Now, I'm not sure, did they learn a lesson from what we've done in Iran with the U.S. military? And did they think, yeah, we better abide our time? We can't match that. Let's wait till the next Democrat is in the White House. Maybe then we'll do something. But again, favorability of China. Is it people just have short memories? What do they need to do to tell you how evil they are? Downright and powerful evil. The Iranians are evil. But they don't have the power. If they get a nuclear weapon, now it's a different game. They have the power, they have the will, and we've seen what they've done already. All right, more calls coming up. We got a great Dom's Progressive Women today, a woman who says, you're not going to make me have kids. I don't know who would have a kid with her. That's an open question. But that's one of the great progressive women things. You're not going to, I don't want kids. Well, no one asked you. I don't want you raising kids. 855-83, Hubert Humphrey, Democrat. Boy, that was a strange frame of reference. I'm trying to think of Hubert Humphrey, the happy warrior, saying, abortions for all. Hubert Humphrey would not be in the Democrat Party today, at least on paper. I mean, it's just not, it's not his party. JFK wouldn't be. You can name almost any one of them, they wouldn't be. And Joe Biden deserves ridicule as much, the whole family does. The whole family deserves ridicule forever. They are incredible grifters. All right, 855-839-1210. A happy National Prosthodontics Awareness Week. So let me tell you about my friends and board-certified prosthodontists, Dr. Robert Bentz and Dr. Emily Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton. We all hear about dentists, and we respect dentists, what they do, really important job. But what is the big difference between that general dentist and a board-certified prosthodontist? Well, it takes several extra years of training and exams to become a board-certified prosthodontist, and fewer than half of 1% of dentists nationally hold that distinction. And right here at the Bentz Dental Center, we have two, Dr. Bentz and his daughter. That is amazing. What it means is you're getting the very best care and more options now for time, your schedule, because we have two prosthodontists, board certified. So from dental implants, which I've had and went very well, to advanced trained specialist and on-site digital lab, to the staff, great staff. They make your life very convenient, comfortable, try to take care of everything. Dr. Bentz, Dr. Emily Bentz at the Bentz Dental Group, you get the oral health you need and deserve and the beautiful smile that you've always wanted. Visit BentzDentalGroup.com or call 610-272-6949. Book your appointment today. Bentz, BENTZ, DentalGroup.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Searching for a new path to wellness? Dr. Molly Fantasia explains how medical hydration therapy can help you reclaim your energy. Listen to Health Watch, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The working families of La Una Labor's District Council of Pennsylvania, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia are proud contributors to all aspects of growth in this great city. The Labor's District Council provides safe, well-trained, productive workers who enable projects to be done on time and under budget. We appreciate our signatory contractors and their commitment to fairness and equality. Laborers, we're building a better future today.
Brought to you by the Laborers District Council Licit Fund.
Weather sponsored by H&K Group Incorporated.
Drier conditions return to the forecast through the afternoon. We'll have clouds with some sunshine. It'll be milder with a high 66. A pleasant night tonight, partly cloudy, low 54 for the city, cooler in the suburbs. And a very nice day on Thursday, a mixture of sunshine and clouds and warmer with a high 76.
Start your new career with H&K Group Incorporated. H&K Group wants to offer you the opportunity to be part of the industry leader. 80 locations across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Visit hkgroup.com and apply today. H&K is an equal opportunity employer.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, endings is the side question today. Welcome in 855-839-1210. You get on board. So the Southern Poverty Law Center funneled allegedly $3 million plus, and they weren't taking groups that were, they're a little bit questionable, but to the KKK and groups like that. You go KKK, you're going down Broadway. And we had on Tiffany Justice, Moms for Liberty founder, talking about what was that like when they're labeled a hate. Imagine. And the charge is, while they're doing that, they're funneling money to these groups to provoke racial incidents so they can continue to talk about how racist America is. I mean, if true, these are long, long jail terms, but just this opening shot ought to, they're circling the wagon saying this was just paying for information inside the KKK, not paying to have them do anything. But, of course, it brings up Charlottesville, and it also brings up January 6th. You're going to hear more of that over the next 24, 48 hours, without a doubt. But this Republican debacle in Virginia is a debacle, and it's an indicator we're getting close to where I'd have to say, hey, unless some miracle happens, you're not going to win the midterms. I mean, at this point in time, it's like we're entering the fourth quarter and we're down by a touchdown, something like that. There's a chance to pull it out. It's not hopeless, but it's not an easy win here. And they're coming up with all kinds of things that I don't think are going to galvanize people. People are going to be galvanized by stuff like passing the Save America Act, by getting the Iranians to come to terms here and getting out of there, and continuing to move on with all the things that Trump has been able to do. And just a relentless ground game. I just don't see what we're not doing a good enough job to motivate Republican voters who may or may not vote in the midterms. The other side, I'm telling you, they're motivated. Hatred is an all-time motivator. I mean, it motivates. People don't want to admit it. They're willing to admit it. We just can't wait to tear this guy apart. They can't get at Trump. They're going to get at the Republican, whoever that is that's around. All right, let's go to Chef Dave. He's in Oak Lynn, and Chef Dave's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Chef, welcome in.
Hey, Don, how you doing?
Good.
This one's going to kind of be a long one. My guy, his last game was in Philadelphia. He went 0 for 1, made an error in left field, and instead of going back to the dugout, he walked out the left field gate to an 18,000 standing ovation. His last hurrah was 5 days earlier. He went 4 for 4 with 3 home runs and hit the first ball ever out of Forbes Field. His hospital farewell, he would stand at the window dying, waving to the little kids and dropping autographs out the window to them. Then, at his viewing, he was laid out at Yankee Stadium to 77,000 people, and at his funeral, they had 75,000 people standing in the pouring rain to watch him go by. And that would be Babe Ruth.
Yeah, that's quite an ending. Certainly a flair for the dramatic, maybe second to none. I would agree with you. That's a good one. We're looking for endings here. Let's go to Steve in Levittown. Steve, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Steve.
Hey, I got a great ending, but I'm going to tell you about a news story that might be an ending in the making. The Southern Poverty Law Center being indicted out of Alabama for funding, get this, white supremacist groups to galvanize, I guess, the left or whatever reason they did, including the Unite the Right rally. They actually helped pay for that.
Well, we've been talking about that for 2 hours, Steve. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I know people tune in at different times. And Steve,
I did. I just tuned in.
Yeah,
I just heard it.
We actually had on the founder of Moms for Liberty, because a group like that was labeled right below the KKK as a hate group. This is what they were engaged in. Yeah.
And how many other groups? I've always wondered at Trump rallies when they'll show a white supremacist, how many of them are plants from groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center or left groups? It's all fake to hate Trump. All this was against Trump. And all this stuff that came out about Donald Trump and that happened. And here it was the Southern Poverty Law Center, the hate group of hate groups.
Well, again, and the Charlottesville thing is a big example of fake news in that Trump never said the neo-Nazis were fine people. We played it ad nauseum. I'm not going to bother people doing it again. It's one of the biggest examples of the media wishing that, and it's not true. What's your side, Steve?
My great ending would be a television show, MASH's ending. Everybody was waiting for it. This was, I think, one of the best TV endings of all times.
It had one of the highest ratings other than Super Bowl of all time, the MASH ending, up until recent history. All right, so 855-839-1210. I mentioned the Catholic thing, and Jeff Andrew is very sensitive to this with the Southern Poverty Law Center. They apparently had a hand, allegedly, we'll say, in being the arbiter of the Catholic groups that the FBI and others ought to go after. Remember that? And these phony bishops, did they rise up over that? No, because Joe Biden, devout Catholic, was there. They are too busy. Look, what happened here in a nutshell with Pope Leo and these cardinals? They were all in it together. They jumped into the ring, and then they don't want to take the consequence of coming into the ring. They're swinging a 2x4. It's like a wrestling match. And then they want to say, whoa, you can't put me in a hold. Now, Trump didn't do it right. That's my critique. With the Jesus stuff and saying rambling stuff about Pope Leo. But we've said it clearly. This guy is an ideologue, and these bishops are fraudulent. They won't address what do you do with Iran. And the media won't follow up and answer. That's it in a nutshell. This president did something. I saw him last night saying he thought it would be much worse with the stock market and oil prices. He was aware, you roll the dice with this, what you're getting into. And you can see why they've lasted 47 years. This is not easy. But the question that the bishops won't answer, what's a just war then? Is the world a safer place? Of course it's a safer place. Now, they have seized 2 ships in the Strait and attacked a 3rd ship. So I think we're going to go back to attacking them at some point. And if there are 2 groups of leaders, people have said somewhat facetiously, but maybe not, one group wants to make a deal and one doesn't. All right, take out the group that doesn't. I don't know if we know that precisely. That's the hard thing here, too. Nobody seems to fully be in charge. So how do you get an answer that we have a deal when half of them don't want to do it? This is why this is such a bold move, 47 years of this. So it would have been better then to let them just continue to build a nuclear weapon, continue to do this nonsense, right? That's what the bishops are saying ultimately. And they're saying, oh, by the way, we hate Trump, but we're holy. No, you're not. All right, coming up, I'll give you a little bit more, too. HYY here in town goes to a church, Catholic church in Levittown, and they say a lot of Catholics there express remorse over voting for Trump. They don't like him taking on Pope Leo. Well, the question I would ask of him, if I had them in front of me, well, who is it that jumped into the ring here? Well, Pope Leo is talking just about peace. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Not at all. And if he wants to tell us about peace, how about defining a just war? How about just doing that? He can't. He won't. Those cardinals can't. They won't. Trump was right to take them on those things. Now, the other nonsense, that's part of the baggage of Trump. 855-839-1210. Progressive woman gone wild coming up. And then Dave McCormack, Senator McCormack at 2 o'clock on Talk Radio 1210.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
A simple piece of paper. It's something we use every day.
For the most part, it does what it's designed to do. It sits there flat on your desk as a placeholder for information. But with a couple strategic folds, suddenly your flat piece of paper becomes an airplane and flies across the room. Your 401k is kind of like that flat piece of paper. It just sits there as a placeholder for your money. Alan Cohen of Spectrum Wealth Partners can show you those strategic moves to take your 401k from just sitting there to creating the income you need for retirement. Call today for a free no-obligation meeting. 856-322-8686. That's 856-322-8686. Or online at SpectrumWP.com.
Advisory services offered through Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, and SEC-registered investment advisor. Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, and Spectrum Wealth Partners are not affiliated companies.
Hey, it's Nick Kale. Time is running out to secure free seeding from Natural Lawn with their full-service program. Call 800-FREE-SEED today. They offer organic fertilizer and safer weed and insect controls. Your lawn will thrive season after season. Get started today. Schedule Natural Lawn's full-service program and get free seeding every year. For a greener, healthier lawn plus free seeding, call 800-FREE-SEED. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. This is a limited-time offer. Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds. Guaranteed.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Take advantage of our Mother's Day sale, which starts now. It's our best deal of the year. Save up to 60% off. Visit legacybox.com/radio and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/radio for 60% off. Legacybox.com/radio.
Now, you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Could this year get any worse?
Dom Giordano presents Progressive Women
Your words are garbage, and you're a bad person at this point.
Gone Wild.
All right, every day at this time, we give you the best in all varieties. I think the person that's gotten the most reaction is that woman with the $150,000 car talking about her nails and the hair and how she doesn't have any money left for her kids, and she was calm about it. You don't have to be crazy.
Business, yeah.
Yes, just normal business type of thing. Well, this woman's not so calm, and it's one of the age-old things. This progressive woman gone wild is refusing to have a child. Who is it? She seems to think society is forcing her to have kids. Listen to this dialogue. I'm not going to have kids no matter what you do.
I would rather go to literal prison than be in the prison that is motherhood. I'm not f***ing doing it. I don't care. Fine me, charge me, put me in jail, give me a criminal record. I don't care. I'm not having any f***ing kids.
All right. We don't know what propelled this, given this woman doesn't seem like the type where there'd be a relationship and then children would come up. And if it was a pregnancy that wasn't planned or thought of, well, that might be a problem with her for a child. Wow.
Just seems like the beginning of the movie Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Where, like, the smart couples, you know, like, if this person thinks they're so smart for not having kids or whatever, like, so be it. But, like, if you think you're that smart and you're, you know, not going to have kids, like, oh, well.
Exactly. What provokes this, and we get it on Twitter, is it's derangement of one sort or another, without a doubt. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless just push pound 1210. Housing and Urban Development rolls out new credit scores for home buyers, a new way of coming up with that as a way of trying to get people into homes. Look, the Trump administration, and I should have told that to Tiffany Justice, we're on a roll and other stuff, an area where I think they can get some traction. It's not the meat of it, but it's something people care about and they're outraged over, and that is ticket prices, Ticketmaster. States are going after them on that. Just any form related to that. There are big lawsuits brewing on all this stuff. Even the FIFA stuff gets people nuts. Democrats are trying on that. So apparently they want to come up with a different way of calculating the credit scores in the hope that this will help get more people into homes. I'll have Dave McCormack here in a few minutes, Senator McCormack, and one of the things I'm going to ask him about is what is it they're planning to roll out. We're hearing all these October surprises. I'm not counting on that. Virginia, one of the takeaways is we're in trouble in the midterms. They got something that's going to drive out their voters. As crazy as it is, just Trump hatred. It will drive them out to do anything. What is the counter to that is what we're searching for. And it's got to be soon. After the summer. I'm not relying on all these October surprises. Not at all. Let's go to Joe in Exton. Joe on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Joe. Afternoon.
Yes. Hello, Dom, and good afternoon. President Abraham Lincoln's version of a concise ending to the Civil War was that of encouraging the Southern Confederates to return home and continue raising a family and earning a living, while John Wilkes Booth's version of a consummate ending to the Civil War was that of murdering President Lincoln.
What was the John Wilkes Booth line, Joe? Only Joe of Exton should be able to do it when he shot at Trump.
Darn. Something about no more.
Death to tyrants. Yeah, death to tyrants. But I thought we'd have the original Latin. Thank you, Joe. I thought he would be able to pull it up in a moment there. Yeah,
I was hoping so.
Yeah, exactly. All right, maybe that was too much pressure.
Right.
All right, so we continue with this. Dave McCormack, who is in the center of a lot of things, big-time stuff, including the Fed introducing the nominee that Trump likes to be the next head of the Fed. What's the big deal? What does the Fed really do? Well, it impacts all of our lives. We're starting to know that more and more. So we'll ask him about that and also what happened in Virginia. He went to a school much like the school where Josh Shapiro sends his kids. In Harrisburg, where only 12% of students can read. Only 12% are proficient in reading. Even Philadelphia's better. Can you imagine him say, oh, yeah, Philadelphia's got you beat. They got at least 13%. How in the world do we spend all this and we have that result? Well, it's a monopoly. It's the teachers' unions. It's the Democrats. And they're going to continue to try to do it. All right, so we'll talk to Senator McCormack. We got a great Dom's Money Melody and a couple of updates as things are developing here this afternoon. All that on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
People in sports radio get ridiculed for being hot take artists, and maybe it's true, but at least there's a back and forth. There's too much universal agreement in this format. I could sit here and dunk on the left all day, but the left's not in power. They don't have any power. It's Republican, so I have to evaluate and opine.
Good point.
Based on my own team and how my team is performing. Right? If I thought every year the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl and go 17-0, that'd be kind of boring, wouldn't it?
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd. To the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Living here is about more than just the headlines. It's the new restaurant opening in Fishtown. It's the playoff energy at the bank. It's the festivals that make your neighborhood feel like home.
KYW News Radio brings you the pulse of the Delaware Valley. From service journalism that solves problems to stories that celebrate our culture, we cover the life you're actually living.
Authentic, local, factual. KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news source.
Did you feel that drafty breeze from your windows this winter? Yikes, it was scary cold. But just as scary is that you now know that your windows will let in that hot, humid air all summer. Let PJ Fitzpatrick help reduce your utility bills with custom-made, double-insulated replacement windows. PJ provides peace of mind with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor. Plus, PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. You can have it all. Visit trustpj.com today for your new windows. That's trustpj.com.
If you're carrying a lot of credit card or personal loan debt, every month can start to feel the same. All those bills, all those due dates, all that stress. There's a solution that's designed to make it easier for you. National Debt Relief could put you on the fast track to paying off your credit card debt, personal loans, and even medical debt for less than you owe, with just one low monthly payment you can afford. And no, it's not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. It's a real, affordable debt relief program that could save you lots of money. National Debt Relief has already helped over 1 million people with their debt and has thousands of 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. So if you owe $10,000 or more, don't wait. Call 800-300-4411 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-300-4411. One call could help reduce what you owe and simplify your monthly payments. Call 800-300-4411 now to find out how much you could save.
All right, big issues, big guest. Tom Giordano show. Senator Dave McCormack, when he ran, we talked about this would not be a backbencher. Pennsylvania is so important, and he has been front and center on just about any major issue that we talk about. So one of those is the feds and the chairman nominee from President Trump being grilled, particularly Elizabeth Warren, who got crazy on CNBC this morning when the host said, well, you're reacting like President Trump does. That was too much for Elizabeth Warren. Let's go to Senator Dave McCormack here on Talk Radio 1210. Senator, welcome back in. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, how are you, Dom? Good to be with you.
Not tales out of school, but what's it like trying to be a colleague with, say, an Elizabeth Warren? Bernie Sanders, I could see more, maybe a little bit more avuncular. Is there any back and forth that you might have with someone like Senator Warren? Do we have Senator McCormack there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I lost you. I lost you there for 1 second, Dom. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I can't believe Senator Warren's behavior in that hearing. And the thing about it is that she's often, behind the scenes, seemingly a reasonable person, which reinforces that that's just theater. That was performance art, and that is about going out there and taking on President Trump. It's the Trump derangement syndrome. This is a candidate that, honestly, I had the privilege of introducing him. I've known him for 30 years. This is someone who is absolutely beyond prepared for this role at this critical time. He's a reformer. He's an outsider. He understands the markets. He understands the Fed. He's got a clear vision for the future at a time when the Fed has really failed us. It's not managed inflation well. It's become political, and he's gonna get it back under control. And Elizabeth Warren essentially got up there and assaulted his character. It was character assassination, and I think she looked terrible doing it. And I think it just showed most Americans that he was calm under fire and gave great answers to important questions.
That's the way I saw it. And he would be a hard guy to pin that's just a rubber stamp and somebody who is just going to cut rates and not say anything else. He seemed to be very buttoned up and, as you said, quite a background to do this. If you had to distill for listeners, particularly now that you've been in this role, behind the scenes in the Senate, et cetera, what's the importance of the Fed? What is it exactly that this nominee would do that would be helpful?
Yeah, the Fed, is, I guess the best way I could say it is really critical to delivering on the American dream for all Americans. It has two responsibilities. One is called price stability, which is to make sure that inflation doesn't get out of control. And the other is full employment, to make sure that the American economy is full employment in terms of people actively having opportunity to work. Monetary policy is what the Fed does. That it controls interest rates. It's not the only thing that affects those things, but it's a key part of it. And so the reason Kevin Warsh is so well prepared is he understands financial markets and he understands the Fed. But more important, he understands the American dream. He grew up in upstate New York, went to public school, was a self-made person. He's been very successful. But he's seen firsthand what happens when inflation gets out of control and gas prices go up or mortgage rates go up or when unemployment goes up. He's seen in his community what that means, just like I saw in my community of Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, during the 80s when inflation was double digits and out of control. So that's why the job's so important, and that's why you need a guy like Kevin to do it and do it well.
Well, I think one barometer, when I saw this number, I said it's got to be AI generated. It's got to be false. It was something around the age of 40 of getting people into their first time home. That's not the American dream.
No,
40?
No, this is scary, Don. When I was a young man, just out of college, the average age for home ownership, so this was the late 80s, early 90s, that the average age was 28. Today, the average age in America is 41 for home ownership. Yeah. And so if you think the American dream is, you work hard, play by the rules, there's good job opportunity, there's good chance to send your kids to great schools, there's a good chance to own a home so you can build wealth and have a family. All those things are slipping away for many Americans. And President Trump campaigned on that. I campaigned on that. And so that's why you and I think spoke about this, but we're in the process of passing a housing bill. The Senate passed it. The House passed a version. We're going to get together on a joint bill that the president will sign this year. And the whole focus of that is to streamline and make it easier for new housing and to make it easier to rehab existing housing. Housing prices went up by 11% last year in Pennsylvania, and the biggest problem is there's not enough supply. And so we got to fix the supply, and we got to get mortgage rates down. You do those two things, and we're going to have home ownership back to a reasonable age.
We're talking with Senator Dave McCormack. Senator, the clock ticking, 60 days in the Senate, Iran. The news doesn't seem so good right now. President Trump extending the ceasefire, Iran attacking 3 ships. I mean, this is why taking this on was such a great decision by the president, in the sense 47 years we kicked it down the road. These people are difficult, even with the devastation. So what are your thoughts? What's going on inside the Senate, and what is likely to happen next?
Well, I think we're at a fork in the road. We've had the 60 days. Most of that's been a military campaign. The president laid out the mission of destroying the missiles, destroying the drones, destroying the launchers, which are really critical, and destroying the capability to manufacture them. And the goal of making sure that Iran has no path to a nuclear weapon. Those were the goals. And we've made huge progress on those first 4 goals of really taking back and dramatically destroying their military capability. And now they have a choice. There's a blockade on, which is squeezing them. It affects about 90% of their revenue, which comes from oil. So we've stopped all ships from coming in and out of Iranian ports. And we've also opened up a corridor where now ships are going through the Strait of Hormuz. On an average day before this, it was about 120 ships. Now it's about 15. So we got to build that corridor. But we are in a position of strength. And the question will be whether Iran wants to find a peaceful resolution and give up the enriched uranium, give up a path to a nuclear weapon, or whether they want to resist that. If they do it peacefully, it's going to be great for the Persian people. It's a great civilization. It's just been run by a bunch of radicals. If they don't do that, I'm afraid there's going to be more military attacks on their infrastructure, which they use to support this horrible regime. And so I hope Iran will take the reasonable path. Unfortunately, we can't trust them. They've been lying for 47 years, the folks in charge there. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, to be honest with you. I'm hoping a peaceful path, but make no mistake, we have enormous leverage on them with the blockade, and we have the ability. Our military ability is we've increased our capacity. We've doubled our capacity in the region over the last 30 days. We can do enormous damage to their energy infrastructure and their bridges and so forth, which, to be clear, they use to support this military regime. So I'm hopeful, but listen, we gotta wait and see. And these guys are tough guys; they can't be trusted. So we'll have to see whether they make the right choice.
You made this week a visit to a school in Harrisburg that was, I think, sort of reminiscent of maybe the school Governor Shapiro went to and sends his kids to, all in the mission of school choice. I had Speaker Johnson on last week and tried to, and he agreed. We got big issues as we head into the midterms. But I think America still doesn't know enough about the liberating feeling of school choice and what you principally, and a few others, but you're a main player here, have done to free up that money that would go to nonprofits. Can we make that in the top 3 or 4 things people are aware of?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We did 2 big things for children. I'll come back in a minute to the second. The first one is what you just say, the Education Choice for Children Act, which was in the Working Families Tax Cut bill that we passed. It's such a huge thing. It's such a huge thing for the kids of Pennsylvania, Dom. If we seize the moment, it's $1,700 that can be contributed by a taxpayer. They get a $1,700 tax exemption. This could mean billions of dollars to school choice options for kids in Pennsylvania. And this, what I'm saying is that we deserve, what every American kid deserves is an opportunity for a great education that they and their parents choose that is best for them. And it's the best way to bring people out of poverty. It's the best way to create opportunity for everyone. And unfortunately, there's resistance, particularly from the teachers' unions, to this idea. And to those who oppose it, I want to say, there's no money coming out of public schools. This is all new money to help children have those options. In order to be eligible, states have to opt into the program. So Pennsylvania and the governor would have to choose to opt in. I'm hopeful he'll do that. I've spoken with him about it. I've encouraged him publicly and privately to do that. And if he does it, it's going to be great for Pennsylvania. And it'll be places like the Silver Academy, which I visited. This was an incredible place. 62 kids. It's a Jewish day school. Most of the students are Jewish, but not all. 62% of the kids are on some form of scholarship, and it's values-based learning. It's an opportunity to grow. It was an incredible place, fabulous teachers. And there are thousands of such opportunities across Pennsylvania, and they're struggling. And if we can get this school choice opportunity in place, this federal money in Pennsylvania, it's going to really help our kids. And so the second thing for our kids I want to mention just briefly is the progress we've made on fentanyl. Dom, you and I spoke about this during the campaign many times. We lost 4,000 kids a day on average during the Biden administration, 4,000 kids a year on average during the Biden administration, 4,000 fentanyl deaths a year, most of them children. And when you meet with those fentanyl families, it's like somebody ripped your heart out when you hear these stories. And I just had the FBI director in Allentown a couple weeks ago, and we laid out the 2025 numbers, the first year of Trump, in fentanyl, and the actual fentanyl deaths in Pennsylvania are something like 1,600, down 60%. That is 1,600 tragic lives lost that we have to stop. So we're not done, but that is directly resulting from the closing the border, the going after the cartels with our military, the prosecuting these criminals and sending them home, the law enforcement on our streets. It's a team sport. Our Pennsylvania State Police, our U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District, our Attorney General, the FBI, Drug Enforcement. It's huge progress. And so we want our kids to have great school opportunities. We want them to be safe from the poison of fentanyl, and we're making good progress on both.
I'm glad you mentioned that. And no bigger fan of Dave Sunday, for example. That guy on Medicare fraud, fentanyl, every time we have him on, Senator, is just a rising star. But you're right, that U.S. Attorney here in Philadelphia, we know it. They're going directly to the heart of this.
No doubt. And I couldn't agree with you more on Sunday. Pennsylvania is lucky to have a great attorney general. And you want to talk about a tough guy who's got a servant's heart. I mean, he is in this for all the right reasons, and he's doing a great job. So it's always an honor and a pleasure to work with him on these kinds of things.
Senator, thank you so much. Anytime, keep us in the loop. Any place you would tell listeners to go for all things Dave McCormack?
www.mccormack.senate.gov.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Senator Dave McCormack. All right, you heard Elizabeth Warren going nuts on CNBC today when they said, you're acting like Trump there. Come on. The guy that would be the Fed nominee is an all-star, and he's not a guy that's radical or wild or anything else. And the Fed is very important. It's the type of stuff that has a lot to do with our daily lives. All right, right now, though, for a great prize, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
All right, we're playing today for a 4-pack of tickets to see the Reading Phillies versus the Portland Sea Dogs at First Energy Stadium in Reading, Pennsylvania on Wednesday, June 10th. For tickets, visit readingphillies.com. Okay, Henry.
Yeah, Dom. So today's side question, we're asking for all-time endings.
Right.
So how about, I'm putting a little spin on it for sure. I feel like at the end of, say, a middle school dance or a high school dance, or maybe even at the end of the night at the bar, like we talked about last week, there's a certain song that comes on to indicate, things are ending. And this same song was used at the end of The Sopranos, in that very final scene where the screen cuts to black at the end. I'm, of course, talking about Journey's Don't Stop Believing. So I'm going to play you Don't Stop Believing today. I want to know this cover artist who's singing it here. Something about this cover artist. Used auto-tune for the majority of their career, but put an end to that for this 2023 album where he did a lot of cover work. So I want to know this cover artist covering Don't Stop Believing. Let's take a listen. An end of the night song covered by an artist who put an end to using autotune. Want to know who this is?
All right, pretty good rendition, I think. 855-839-1210. Hit us with that, and you're off to see the Reading Phils with a 4-pack of tickets. 855-839-1210.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. I want to tell you about my happy place, the beautiful oceanfront Grand Hotel in Cape May, New Jersey. Now, it may feel kind of early, but I'm always excited for summer, so I'm thinking about Memorial Day weekend. You should be as well. The Grand Hotel is offering the most amazing Memorial Day special, but you need to book soon because they will sell out, and they sell out every year. Book a midweek stay for 4 or more consecutive nights, and Thursday night is free. That's right, free. You and your family and friends can enjoy a variety of guest rooms, suites, and townhomes while you relax by the Olympic-sized outdoor and indoor heated pools. Grab an amazing meal at Hemingway's restaurant, amazing steaks, the freshest seafood anywhere, and so much more. And let's not forget about the pool bar, maybe some handcrafted cocktails, some rum buckets. Don't delay on booking your stay. Book direct with them for the best rates. Always book direct with them by going to grandhotelcapemay.com. But don't wait or you'll miss out. grandhotelcapemay.com.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
At Virtua Health, we're redefining heart care.
Our heart rhythm team at Virtua is really working at the forefront of technology. There's constantly new advances.
Like cardiac clinical trials and breakthrough treatments for atrial fibrillation.
Treating atrial fibrillation with ablation and treating it early allows for the best outcomes for our patients. We can make a meaningful difference in patients' lives.
Virtua Health, here for complex heart care, here for good. More at virtua.org/here for good.
When you're grocery shopping for the family, you want treats everyone will love. And Tasty Cake makes it easy. This spring, pick up a box of lemon cupcakes with a tangy lemon-flavored cake and delicious buttercream icing, perfect for dessert or sharing. And Tasty Cake Pound Cake Juniors are a mom favorite. Moist, perfectly portioned, and great for lunches or after-school snacks. Tasty Cake has something for everyone. Tasty Cake, accept no substitutes.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Do it today at 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money. That's exactly right. Every day around 2:12, 2:13, it's Dom's Money Melody. Who is covering this big-time song about endings?
Used auto-tune for the majority of his career, but put an end to it for this album.
All right, let's go to John in Ben Salem. John on Talk Radio 1210. What's your answer, John? Hi.
Hi, good afternoon. T-Pain?
All right. Who is that, Henry? John, you're the winner. We'll get you those 4 tickets. What can you tell us about that?
You don't know T-Pain?
No, I do not.
I'm in love with a stripper, you know.
No, I'm not a big T-Pain.
Bartender, buy you a drink, you know.
Okay.
So,
All right, I'll mark
5
that one
o'clock,
down
no?
for Feather. No.
No, all right.
Okay.
So he's I guess a rap like singer, more so to speak, because he does sing with auto-tune a lot. Famous mainly, I'd say, in the 2000s. But yeah, it released an album 3 years ago of a lot of cover songs just to show off, like, hey, I know I'm the guy, you know, who's known for using auto-tune to sing, but I just want to show you I can sing without it. And I think this cover, along with some of the others on that album, really show, yeah, he's got pipes.
All right. There's a winner. Side question today. You can get your name into the hat. Coming off this pretty good film, Hail Mary Project, and Roe needs happy endings, multiple happy endings, not just one. Oh, wish I could explain. If you see the film, you'll see what I'm talking about. All-time endings. Does not have to be a film. It could be anything. That's what we're looking for. A couple things. The Inquirer finally acknowledging, I just saw this, that Chris Rabb, this extreme progressive, and I think anti-Israel at best and worse, anti-Semite, in the big Democrat primary in Philadelphia, it's the biggest with a lot of money being spent, is bringing in the big guns. He's going to appear with streamer Hassan Piker. And all the Inquirer says is he's a leftist streamer. No, he's not. If this guy's not out of bounds, and if you consort with him, if you're not out of bounds, well, the Inquirer endorsed Representative Rabb. So I guess it's within bounds to bring in Hassan Piker, who, among other things, has said, we deserve what we got on 9/11. We were asking for it, among other things. A lot of things that are worse. And you could just Google him. I'm not going to give you the gory details. Just Google him and his dog, okay? Just do that. If I were running against this guy, Chris Rabb, I'd go right down Broadway. Oh, Dom, you're going to bring up Israel? That's a heavy hitting. I'm going dog right down Broadway with this guy. I want to know what the representative's position on animal mistreatment might be. Oh, we're not talking policy. Hey, buddy, it's my turn here. We are talking policy. What do you say about that? This race is a microcosm of what places like the Inquirer, they're putting their toes in there with people that are way out of bounds. And so are many Democrats. All under the guise, they said when they endorsed him, we want someone pugnacious because of what Trump's doing. So we want some guy who's in league with, we deserved it on 9/11. That's what the Inquirer's saying here. Well, yeah, we need to do that because we got to stop Trump. He's a Nazi. We had a caller today, a Hubert Humphrey Democrat, who jumped into that. That's what this is about. Now, here's the thing that really gets me. The Inquirer's got a big piece up on how more and more restaurants, like an astounding number, are saying their brand is to dim the lighting in the restaurant. That's the brand. That tells you it's a high-quality restaurant. Too much light, and it's not a high-quality restaurant. It's on my top 10 list of things that I despise that a restaurant does, the dimming light stuff. What in the world? If you're at home and you dim the lights, it's romantic okay. In a restaurant, though, I'm not saying it has to be like an airport. A modicum of dim is fine. But why in the world do you have to hold the menu up to a candle or light on your phone to be able to see it? I need to hear from a restaurateur out there. Henry, you're in my camp. Have you been to a restaurant where you can't see it?
I'm all for, the dimming of the lights.
Right.
But yeah, there was one I was at like a month ago where it was like, even like I knew my parents were going to have trouble there, but like even I was like, all right, what does this say? What are we doing here? Like, can we get the lights on a little bit? We don't need these curtains everywhere. Like, come on.
What I can't pull it up. It's behind a paywall, but many of today's high-end restaurants are dialing down the lights. It's part of the mood, the brand, and the sales pitch. What? They get you for more by the lights being
maybe
dimmed.
you misread the prices. Like, oh, that's pretty cheap. I'll get that instead.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. I just can't. Yeah, I can't imagine how the dimming of the lights is that big of a deal that brands you. Now, here's a guy that knows a lot about restaurants. Well, at least diners, we believe. I don't know if they dim the lights in diners. Let's go to Zenos in Upper Darby on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Zenos.
Good afternoon, Dom and Christos Anesti, to you and everybody out there.
Thank you, Zenos.
Yes, we're going to go there for almost 35 some more days. So then we go back. Then we go back to Happy New Year.
Okay, gotcha, Zenos.
Dom, the gentleman you had, I was here early today, and you had Michael from Bucks County.
Yes,
that is a breath of fresh air. That's what we need. People like him, Macaulay. And we don't need people like Hubert Humphrey over here.
I couldn't believe when he said a Hubert Humphrey Democrat. What the heck?
He is nowhere near like Hubert Humphrey.
Right.
There were different kind of Democrats. This guy, the way I know these people, Dom, I don't have to read their books. He called Trump Nazi. He's nothing but a communist because it's tit for tat. With these people, I'm getting tired of them. They have no idea what Nazis did, and they just use parents. My parents went through, seen what they did. They have no idea. Let me ask you something, Dom. When did the president murder 6 million Jews?
Yeah, that's where, right, it's out of bounds. They're losing immediately when we go Nazi, Hitler, and all that. And yet they can't restrain themselves. There's a lot of things they can differ with Trump on, and we can talk. As soon as you say that, you're a nut.
You know what, Dom? I'm trying to be polite. I don't try to put down any other, people that call in. But this guy, if he was in front of me, I swear to the Lord God, I would have cracked him right on his jaw.
All right, Zenos, we can't.
I know we can't do that.
Yeah,
I apologize for that, but that's how mad I get. No, we can't do that. And you're absolutely right. I was a little bit out of line. I was just so angered. We cannot do that. And I try to be respectful. But yes, you're right. I cannot do that. I was just mad the way they throw this stuff around.
Give me your side, Zenos.
You got it, Dom. And again, I apologize for that. I didn't mean, it took me out of context.
I understand.
I was just a little uptight. Mine was Douglas MacArthur when the Japanese first ran him out of the Philippines, and he said, "I'll be back." And 3 years later, he come back and took the Philippines. That's the best ending I know because I'm pro-Army, pro-police, and that's the way I am.
Think you, Zenos. Oh, my God. It's gut-wrenching every day and funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I shall return. Yes. Not I will return. I think MacArthur said I shall return. And that's a great scene. Is it the film MacArthur? When he comes aboard, I mean, what a showman. Some thought too much with the pipe and the hat and the whole thing. And he gets on the radio there, and just the way he says, it was Gregory Peck playing it, strike for your children, And the Filipinos loved him. He had that connection. And every time he said strike, attack the Japanese, very meaningful.
Huh.
I shall return. Film is very good. 855-839-1210. You get a Hubert Humphrey Democrat. And all the things I've heard over the years, that was one of the wilder moments. And I'm trying to piece out, all right, where might this guy go? He wanted to be not seen as a progressive, but it's just a liberal. Okay. Hubert Humphrey, though, is not at home in this Democrat Party, not even in the slightest. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all we need you to do is push pound 1210. We'll get the winner. Friday, of course, we have the big winner. And the two things we've been talking about today are the debacle in Virginia, and the other is the comeuppance, we'll see, of the Southern Poverty Law Center. One little nugget, and I'll just give you the headline on this. The education arm of the Southern Poverty Law Center is called Learning for Justice, formerly known, maybe some of you younger even went through this, Teaching Tolerance. This was parlayed through K-12 education systems nationwide, partnered with the American Counselor Association, I'm looking at a letter that was sent in 2020 urging schools to use their social justice standards. This happened in all 50 states. Proof of how the American Society of School Counselors Association implemented the requirements, the mindsets, and behavior standards from Southern Poverty Law Center. So in other words, this was not just a website calling everybody a racist. These people actually have infiltrated America's schools up and down the line. And yet, the allegation, at least, and there's evidence, paying off members of the KKK and all, they say for information, the allegations say no, for actions that will provoke, look at the racism of America, so they could fundraise. That's the core of what's going on. It is a huge deal. And this is the group that allegedly helped the FBI target what they say were radical Catholics. They were going to a Latin mass. All right, phone lines. Here's how you get in. 855-839-1210. Let's talk about Dr. Benson this month. It's National Prosthodontics Awareness Week. And that's where my friends, board-certified prosthodontists, both Dr. Robert Bentz and his daughter, Dr. Emily Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton, come in. Now, you hear about dentists all the time. It's important to know the distinction. And it's rather simple, but boy, is it different. The difference is a board-certified prosthodontist takes several extra years of training and exams to become a board-certified prosthodontist, and fewer than 0.5% of dentists nationally hold that distinction. 0.5%. And here we have two. Dr. Bentz and his daughter, newly minted Dr. Emily Bentz. So you put that together, you're getting all that expertise, and now you have two board-certified prosthodontists, meaning the schedule expands for you and your hours. From dental implants to the advanced trained specialist and on-site digital lab, the staff at Dr. Bentz, this is all world-class. The imaging alone to get to the heart of what a problem might be. If you want the treatment I've gotten for 11 years, here's the place to go. We tell you that all the time, and particularly this week, the difference, the Bentz difference. To get that initial appointment, call 610-272-6949 or their website, bentzdentalgroup.com, BENTZ dentalgroup.com.
Everything you knew about reaching customers online is being rewritten. Time to rethink your approach. Outcomes from Viant finds real customers, not impressions, not clicks, customers. Our AI maximizes every dollar of your budget against the outcomes that matter most and proves it happened. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hi, I'm George Parenti, the lead dog at the Dogs and Cats Rules stores. We have the most extensive selection of fresh and premium foods, including raw, gently cooked, dehydrated, air-dried, freeze-dried, and of course, premium kibble and cans. The Dogs and Cats Rules stores are chock full of interactive toys, chews, and treats. Dogs and Cats Rules 7 neighborhood locations: Princeton and Pennington, New Jersey, Newtown, Doylestown, Maple Glen, Bluebell, and New Hope in PA. Online at dogsandcatsrule.pet. Shop small, shop local, shop family.
Searching for a new path to wellness? Dr. Molly Fantasia explains how medical hydration therapy can help you reclaim your energy. Listen to Health Watch, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
We are Nancy and Robert Harding, and we became crash-proofed in 2018.
In 2022, we sold our home of 34 years, and we moved into an apartment because we weren't really sure where we were going to land. We took all the money of that sale of that house and put it in crash-proof retirement, which was a smart thing to do. That money has grown. And now, when I realize I'm not an apartment person, we're starting to look for a home. Even though home prices have gone up, we're going to be able to buy a home that's going to meet our needs because we have more money now than we did when we sold our home.
That will allow us to achieve the things we like in terms of entertainment and having family over, and Crash Proof has enabled us to be able to make that jump when we desire to do it. The money is available.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn on Tuesday, May 5th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Weather sponsored by Kitchen Magic.
Drier conditions return to the forecast through the afternoon. We'll have clouds with some sunshine. It'll be milder with a high 66. A pleasant night tonight, partly cloudy, low 54 for the city, cooler in the suburbs. And a very nice day on Thursday, a mixture of sunshine and clouds and warmer with a high 76.
April is here, and so is Kitchen Magic's biggest sale of the year. 46 years of specializing in kitchens and baths, 60,000 happy customers. Family owned, locally manufactured. Get 40% off installation this month only. Schedule your free consultation at kitchenmagic.com.
Now back to the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano Show, coming to your calls. All-time ending is what we're talking about. By the way, it's shocking to me, but the L.A. schools, public schools, some of the worst managed usually, are on the right side of something. They're the first major big city school district to really curtail. They've done it with cell phones, but now it's screens. In other words, tablets, things of that nature, trying to get kids away from screens and back to books. And I'm still reading this today as it came out this morning saying, L.A. school district? Wow. Shocking. They're on the train of this where all the evidence points. Lower Merion has a big battle going on with parents there, not wanting their kids to have Chromebooks to be taken home. I think it's called pencils, not pixels, something like that, or pixels over pencils, or pencils over pixels. So L.A. doing this is remarkable. It is going to end up that way. More and more schools are seeing this. We've gone way too far. Kids were not succeeding, so what do? Spend more money, do another harebrained thing, have more screens. Now, I'm not sure that I'm going to say that L.A. schools are going to turn out kids that are proficient, but this is a really good sign. All right, let's go to Robert in Bensalem. He's in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert.
Hi, Dom Henry, and Sic Semper Tyrannis, Dom.
Oh, that's right, yes. Well, Joe surprised me that he didn't have it at his fingertips and say, I learned that at the University of Florence, yes.
Well, maybe he didn't have his coffee yet, man.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But I was calling about the other caller, and, Dom, I got to say, you handled that guy perfectly. It didn't take long at all. And when he said Humphrey Democrat, I'm like, Humphrey lost 58 years ago, dude. Let it go. I don't even think Humphrey's descendants call themselves Humphrey Democrats. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it's amazing.
When you brought up the trans policy and then he went to the Jesus meme and then you pointed out the difference between annex and policy, he had to come up with a policy answer. And that's when they turn into Hulk. He went into Hulk smash mode. He turned green and went Nazi. I mean, they can't help themselves. And please explain to me how Trump is a national socialist. I'm just still waiting for one of these idiots to explain this to me. But my answer to the side question, Dom, is a little out of the box. I played a country western song record backwards. And at the end, his dog came back to life, his wife came back home, his truck started running, and he sobered up. And I can't think of a happier ending than that. Strictly tongue-in-cheek. You guys have a great day, man.
Thank you. Brilliant answer. Oh, my God. Writing those country western songs, it's murderous that they're able to continue to churn them out. By the way, Great Britain, UK, A lot of censorship, a lot of other things, but they have banned smoking now. This is out of the UK, Daily Mail. For those born after 2008, landmark legislation clears Parliament. So that means if you're under 18, if you're 18 and up, you can continue smoking. They know it's an addictive habit, etc. But if you're under that, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
If you were born, hey, let me see when you were. Talk about a policy that's going to be difficult to enforce. They have banned smoking. I haven't seen the latest smoking figures. I think the area where there's an uptick would be vaping, vapes, that kind of thing. Whereas smoking, for the last even 20 years, year after year, the numbers have gone down. I don't know about cigar smoking. That may have gone up or maintained, but cigarette smoking has gone down. I can tell because we have areas where people can smoke cigarettes out here, outside our building. And today's the first time I saw two people there smoking at once. It's pretty rare. And, they're pretty far away from people. So I don't know that we need national campaigns on this. It would seem vaping is the hotter thing, and that goes back and forth. But imagine setting an age limit. I can hear this debate. Well, if you got addicted, we realize that you can still smoke. Otherwise, we're cutting it off now. All right? Is that necessary? And how do you enforce this?
Is it just cigarettes or is it?
It just
all
says
tobacco?
Smoking. So,
Right,
I think it's
I'd imagine
smoking in
that
general.
include vapes and everything.
Yeah, illegal born after 2008 to buy tobacco.
Okay.
See, that's what it is. Aha.
So no dip, no pouches, nothing like that.
It says the tobacco and vapes bill passed through Parliament and will make it illegal for anyone born after 2008 to buy tobacco from a shop.
Interesting. So just to buy, not to consume.
Yeah, it doesn't say what they're going to do on the streets or
Okay,
whatever.
'cause that's where I think things would get, because you could just get your bud who's whatever
Yes.
a month
Yeah.
older than you.
Yeah.
Say you're born after the date, like just go grab me something.
Right.
But if you're outside smoking something and Bobby comes up to you and he's like, "Hey,
right,
what do we got here, fellas?" Like that might get bad.
Yeah. Interesting. It's clever versus anything that we see here. I don't know if they've asked RFK Jr. about that. Today, he's before 2 Senate committees. I haven't seen any craziness yet, but the day is young. 855-839-1210. All right, we got the lightning round next. Hit us with that all-time ending. I see a film here that I would endorse as a great ending. Mine today was The Dark Knight, and Seinfeld's going out on a high note. George, leave then after you do that. Henry, what was yours again?
What's in the box?
Oh, that's right. Yes. Was that the only one?
I had a few. I had Pujols, Albert Pujols, end of his career,
the career.
getting 700.
Yeah, exactly.
And then,
So it could be any walk of life, anything that we're looking for. I'll explain once this film, Hail Mary Project, is out there for a little bit longer. If it's not a completely happy ending, oh my God, it's just brutal. And if it starts to trend that you can tell a half hour left that it's not going to be a happy ending. Oh.
What, does she leave?
She gets itchy, kind of, that it's,
Oh,
got to have a happy ending. Yeah. Hollywood knows her. Yeah. All righty. I can't imagine a rom-com with an unhappy ending. If that happens, then we have a blow-up. Yeah. Very few that I can imagine.
Very few.
Yeah. 855-839-1210. I don't even know if Hollywood would make it, though. Can you imagine the selling? You got to be Spielberg or somebody and say, look, I know it's not a completely happy ending, but it's a great film, and this is my ending, and that's it.
Well, I'm all for not having a happy ending, but you got to stick the landing. I've watched too many movies that it can go from good to great or good to just meh, just on how they end the movie. It's the most important part.
The film that you attack many times to me and say is not great, Goodfellas, I wouldn't call that a happy ending.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no.
It's a fine ending. It's a good ending.
I think it's a beautiful ending. It captures what the punishment is. He's outside the life.
Yeah.
The glamour of the life. Now he's a schnook in Phoenix. Yeah, he can't even get good spaghetti. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in.
Hey, it's Nick. Happy to say it's the return of WPHT's Piazza Pet of the Month this Friday morning at Piazza Mazda of Westchester, located right off of Route 202. Dawn, Greg, and I will be there live from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., helping to support the incredible work of Paws. Join us for a pet food, blanket, and donation drive. Stop by, drop off your donations, dry cat and dog food, kitty litter, and new or gently used blankets, sheets, and towels. We'll have coffee and donuts too, of course. Show your support and enjoy the fun. See you at Piazza Mazda of Westchester on Route 202 or go to 1210WPHT.com for more info.
Does your home never seem to have enough hot water? With a Bradford White Infinity Tankless Water Heater, you'll never run out. The Infinity Tankless heats as much water as you need, whenever you need it. Plus, they're super efficient to save you energy and money. And like all Bradford White water heaters, they're built to be the best for years of reliable performance. So ask your plumbing professional about going tankless with a Bradford White Infinity Series Tankless Water Heater. Visit BradfordWhite.com today to learn more.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed to move your career forward. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, and more. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, that's right. All-time ending. Earl has one. I'm glad I was going to take it off the board because it summarizes what they used to do in movies for an ending. The Earl of Tacony. Earl, what's yours?
Felisa Novengerin. That's a Happy New Year in the artificial language of Esperanto.
Ah, an Esperanto entry. Put that on the big board of Happy New Year's. All right.
But real quick trivia question. In Great Britain and England, they went and they banned smoking in all pubs. And what happened is people started getting sick, and they couldn't understand why. What happened is the smell of the cigarette smoke was covering up the smell of the bathrooms. And it turned out that the bathrooms smelled so bad that people were getting sick, and they had to go and they had to put air fresheners in and air purifiers to cover the smell of the bathrooms because it was being covered by the smoke.
I'm not a fan of the Brits, their cuisine, or their beer, but continue, yes.
Or their dental work.
Well, that's true, yes. Dr. Bentz,
They
get
need
over
Dr.
there.
Bentz.
Doc, come on, Doc. You take the plane over, you could be back. Big field there.
But I'm going to go with the typical stereotype. I'm going to go riding off into the sunset. And it's not even just for Westerns. I mean, that was a Western trope. Every movie, when they didn't figure out how to end it, they would just have them ride off into the sunset. But even something like Star Trek, whenever they ended a series, they always had the ship going off into the sunset. Everybody would just go off into the sunset when everything was over.
Thanks, Earl. That is the classic ending. Yeah, when you can't come up with anything, just make them go off into the sunset. Ride off. Michael in Wilmington, a star call yesterday, all-time call, back and forth, I'm telling you. Hey, Michael, welcome in.
Hey, Dom, my good start. I appreciate the accolade. Coming from you, that means a lot. I appreciate
well,
that.
It was a tough one, and you held your ground. We had a lot of fun with it, the Mike Pence thing. Just a note, Bill Devlin tells me, Pastor Devlin, he wrote an article agreeing with Mike Pence. And I said, that's not in the Bible. Come on.
Yeah, well, it's tough to argue with someone like Bill Devlin, but it was a lot of fun yesterday. So my side today, Dom, is what I was thinking of. I think this would resonate with a lot of people. A lot of people for a great ending is the last day of anyone ending a job that you really hated. That's like the ultimate ending. Somewhat emotional, somewhat, exciting, but ending a job that you really, really hated. And that's my side for the day.
Thank you, Michael. Boy, that is outside the box, too, and a good one. Yes. Pat, and Pat coming through yesterday, too, on the females in the workplace. Pat, you're next.
Yes,
Hi, Pat.
Yeah, I was. I don't regret saying what I did, but I've been there, done that, and I hated it. So that's why I said what I did. But my side is the ending to The Great Escape, and it was unbelievable to me. Steve McQueen, running after the train and not making it. But it is, to me, the most memorable ending I've ever seen.
Yeah, and the premise, how occupied the Nazis were trying to capture all those guys. Yeah. Very few got through.
It was sad, though, and honestly, I saw it once, and it was the greatest ending, but I never watched it again.
There you go. That's not a happy ending. A couple get away, but the great majority do not. Big-time actors, though. Yeah. Lance in South Philly. Hiya, Lance. What's yours today?
How you doing, Dom? The ending for me is the Easter Miracle with the down pilot. But what really upsets me is that I had to search the internet for no less than 6 news outlets, because when he pinged his transponder, he said, God is good, so he could be found, and it choked me up. And the fact that they don't even want to say that on the news, that he mentions the word God, is just astounding to me.
That is a great point. And Lance, I'd say the only area where the media has to relent is where they have a star player after a big catch moment in the NFL, principally, and the guy goes off on that. They don't know what to do. They got to allow it, and they hate it.
And that's my answer.
Thank you, Lance. That is a good one. Sarah in Downingtown. This is a great ending, particularly the hat blowing in the wind is beautifully done. Sarah, what's yours?
Hi, my side today is The Shawshank Redemption. The best ending I can think of today.
Yeah, as I said, seeing Morgan Freeman's hat blowing in the wind, and somehow or another, he's recognized that he's there. That is a great ending.
Yeah, how do you know to turn around, Andy Dufresne?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Andy Dufresne. The way they Dufresne. How many times have I know it's in the 20s. If there's anybody that's seen it more, because it's on constantly. By that I mean, I have seen 90% of it at least 25 times.
Right.
Yeah. Parts of it could be approaching 50.
Yeah,
I'm not ashamed of it.
It's on TV. I'm going to watch it. I'm the same way with A Few Good Men.
Oh, well, yes.
Whoa.
Now we're into, I could watch, and you know my point. I only have one point. It's not the line you think, it's the other
right,
line.
yeah.
Oh,
the next one.
Yeah. Bill in Bucks. Bill, what's yours?
Okay, mine there is an event that occurred in August of 1973 or 4. I'm not sure which one it is now. It is the end of the Nixon presidency, and he resigned in disgrace.
Yeah, and then pauses at the helicopter to do that goofy wave thing.
Yeah,
it's hard to
au
believe.
revoir.
Au revoir. Thank you, Bill, very much. I'm going to make sure I get this one in. Mark in Huntington Valley. This is a classic if you haven't seen it. Mark, what's yours?
The ending of The Best Years of Our Lives, a movie that came out around 1945 at the end of World War II. It touches on probably things that people weren't aware of, of GIs returning back then, like PTSD and breaking up of relationships and then trying to readjust to civilian life after being in the military.
Yeah, the guy with hooks in the Navy with hooks for hands.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that is. Go ahead.
There was another one of the other characters. He's dealing with PTSD, and he's breaking up with his wife. I guess they had a quickie marriage, and then they kind of realized that we really don't love each other. So now he's lost.
Very good, Mark. That if you have not seen that film, you should search it out. It is, and it makes the point. We think everything roses. World War II, we won. The nation behind it. yes, but then coming back home and adjusting after that. Well, Saving Private Ryan gets into that a little bit too, I think. Kirk, what's yours?
I'm going to go with Earl riding off in the sunset as an ending.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Henry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I second Earl's call today. I'd also like to nominate Michael and Wilmington, walking out of the last job he really hated. And he gave us a lot of endings on his call, so I got to throw Chef Dave with Babe Ruth's endings in there.
Oh, man. Let's go with Chef Dave. That was a little bit of an unusual call today, although Earl's was very strong. These were great.
For sure.
Yeah, Murderer's Row.
I think we're cooking up some good stuff for tomorrow, too, as always, and some great guests and you. So thank you for being part of it. Follow me on Twitter at DomShow1210. Thanks to Kirk and Henry, and thanks to Roe as the inspiration for this, even though I have to go through hell waiting for the happy ending at the end. It's got to be there. All right, coming up, we have the afternoon show, 3 big hours straight ahead here. Dom Giordano, noon until 3, happily, Monday through Friday on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.